voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way.
From Foster Pavilion in Waco, it's the Texas Longhorns against the Baylor Bears. Before we bring you tonight's starting lineups, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Live from Waco, you're listening to Texas Longhorns basketball from Learfield. Good evening, everybody. I'm Craig Way alongside Eddie Orn, Cameron Parker, our engineer, alongside Dave Pulaski, our broadcast coordinator and studio anchor in the Longhorn Radio Network studios from Learfield, Texas. Longhorns take on the Baylor Bears tonight. The Longhorns 19-10, and they are 8-8 in Big 12 Conference play. Baylor comes in at 21-8. They are 10-6 in Big 12 Conference competition. The Longhorns, of course, come off back-to-back wins. Baylor is coming off a huge win after they had lost at BYU. The Bears got a huge win at home against the Kansas Jayhawks last Saturday. Here are tonight's starting lineups. First of all, for the visiting Longhorns, who are coached by Rodney Terry, now in his second season at the University of Texas and his 12th season overall as a collegiate head coach. A career coaching mark of 204 wins against 174 losses. The mark at UT is 41-18. In the backcourt is Tyrese Hunter, 6 foot 175-pound junior from Racine, Wisconsin, transferred in from Iowa State a season ago. Tyrese is averaging 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Joining him in the backcourt is Max Asmus, 6 foot 175-pound grad transfer. He's from Rockwall in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, played at Jesuit College Prep in Dallas, and then transferred in this season from Oral Roberts. Max is averaging 16.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. The third guard is Ithiel Horton, 6'5", 200-pound grad transfer from Vauxhall, New Jersey. Began his collegiate career at Delaware and then Pittsburgh, and then UCF, and transferred in from there to Texas. I.T. Horton is averaging 6 points and 2 rebounds per game. At a forward spot is Dylan Mitchell. Dylan is the 6'8", 205-pound sophomore from Montverde Academy in Florida, a native of Tampa, Florida. Mitchell's averaging 10 points, 8 rebounds, assist and a half, and a block shot per game. And in the middle, Dylan Dessou is in the starting lineup. Again, he was going to be a game-time decision with a stomach virus. But Dylan's going to give it a go anyway. The 6'9", 225-pound grad student from Hendrickson High School in the Pflugerville ISD in the greater Austin area began his collegiate career at Vanderbilt. Dessou is averaging 17 points per game to lead the Longhorns in scoring, along with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block shot per game. He comes off a career-high 5 assist performance in the win on Saturday against Oklahoma State. The Baylor Bears, ranked 11th in the nation, are 21-8. They're 10-6 in Big 12 Conference play, and they're coached by Scott Drew in his 21st season as the head coach at Baylor, his 22nd season overall as a collegiate head coach, a career coaching mark of 461 wins against 252 losses. The mark at Baylor, 441 and 241. In the backcourt is Ray J. Dennis, 6'2", 285-pound senior transfer from Plainfield, Illinois. Transferred in from Toledo. He's averaging 13.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. Joining him in the backcourt is Jaden Nunn, a 6'4", 190-pound junior transfer from Flint, Michigan, transferred in from Virginia Commonwealth. Nunn is averaging 11 points, 3 boards, and 2 assists. The third guard is Jacoby Walter, a 6'5", 195-pound freshman from McKinney and played at Lincoln Academy in Missouri. Walter is averaging 15 points per game to lead the Bears, along with 5 rebounds and 2 assists. At a forward spot is Jalen Bridges, 6'9", 225-pound senior from Fairmont, West Virginia, transferred in this season from the University of West Virginia. Bridges is averaging 11 points, 5 boards, and an assist and a half per game. And in the middle is Eve Missi. It's spelled Y-V-E-S, Eve, and then Missi is spelled M-I-S-S-I. Eve Missi, a 7', 235-pound freshman from Yaoundé, Cameroon, averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 block shots per game. The officials for this Big 12 Conference contest tonight, the crew chief is Kip Kissinger. He is assisted by Terry Oglesby and Tony Chiazza. The Longhorns will be attired in their Traveling burnt orange uniforms, burnt orange jersey tops, burnt orange shorts. Texas emblazoned in white block print capital lettering across the front with a white numeral beneath it. The players' names spelled out in white block print capital lettering on the back of those burnt orange jerseys, and a large white numeral gracing the back of the traveling burnt orange jersey tops, burnt orange shorts, white numerals, lettering, and trim. Baylor home uniforms, white jersey tops and white shorts. It has Baylor in green block print capital lettering across the front with a green numeral beneath it. The players' names spelled out in green block print capital lettering on the back of those white jerseys, and a large green numeral on the back of the white jersey tops, white shorts, green numerals, lettering, and green and yellow trim. Keys to the game, Eddie Orton?
I think it's transition defense, recognize the zone, attack it, strong with the ball, and continue to have good perimeter defense.
The Longhorns will move from our left to our right here in this first half, as you picture it in your mind's eye across your radio dial, and Baylor will move from right to left. This brand new building, the Foster Pavilion, isn't really completely finished yet. The basketball headquarters and offices and practice facilities are still under construction, but they've really ramped up the acceleration of getting the building finished in time to open it in January for conference play, and that they've been able to do for both the Baylor men's and women's teams here. It seats 7,500, and it's very steep. The noise flies to the floor, much like Gallagher-Iba Arena in Stillwater, Eddie.
There's no doubt about it, and I like the trend. I like the fact that the Texas in this arena, it fills it up. It gives it a heck of a home court advantage. I like the smaller arenas.
Dylan DeSue will stand in the center circle to jump it up for Texas, and it'll be E. Meese who will jump for Baylor. Full house on hand, as you might imagine. They've been filling it all season long, all 7,500 seats, and it's senior night for Baylor. So the Longhorns will try their best to spoil it and actually move above 500 for the first time in conference play. They've not done that this season. They've fought their way back to level 500 in Big 12 conference competition. The crew chief, Kip Kissinger, will walk the basketball to the center circle. Dylan DeSue for Texas, E. Meese for Baylor. Final road game of this regular season for Texas. We're glad you're with us, and we're underway, and it's Baylor that controls the tip. In the backcourt, Ray J. Dennis will bring it into the front court. Longhorns open in man-to-man defense. To Meese, going up against Dylan DeSue, right away, plows into him and draws an offensive foul.
Well, a good start, good position that time, getting square to the drive.
And when you've got a stomach virus, man, it's kind of tough to take that right in the gut from the guy's head.
Especially he's 235-pound 7-footer.
But Dylan's up and moving, and the Longhorns are moving now as they work it into the front court. Baylor, of course, will show man, zone, combinations, different looks. And right now they've opened in man-to-man. On the left side is I.T. Horton. Flips it past the Sioux. Now to Hunter. Tyrese open for three, and he drains it to open the ball game.
Just simple play.
Texas strikes first. Longhorns lead 3-0. Ray J. Dennis on the dribble for the Bears into the front court, guarded in the man-to-man by Hunter. Now it goes to Jaden Nunn. Flips it out to Jalen Bridges, high on the right wing to Jacoby Walter, coming off a screen, guarded tightly by I.T. Horton. Here's Walter on the left side, down into the corner, 10 on the shot clock for Baylor. Out front to Jaden Nunn. Nunn swings it right side to Meese. Now at the top of the arc, a three-pointer launch. That's no good by Ray J. Dennis, and the rebound to Max Asmus for Texas. Into the front court. Asmus on the dribble. Max calls out the play. Flips a pass to Hunter on the right wing. Now to the left side. And it goes out to Hunter again. He'll shoot another three. That one's good. So it's Tyrese Hunter 6 and Baylor nothing in the first minute and a half of action.
Well, it's good to see him get off to a good start offensively. You know how he's played well defensively.
Into the front court is Ray J. Dennis, guarded by Hunter. Bounce pass up top, Jacoby Walter. Flips it now to Jaden Nunn. Nunn against Asmus, trying to drive on him. Still trying to work it with a left-hand dribble. Works it off to E. Meese. Meese leaves it now for Ray J. Dennis to the right side. And then driving down the lane, Meese, a runner, no good, but drew contact. The foul is going to be on Horton. IT picks up the game's first foul. There'll be 2 free throws to come for Meese.
Well, hey, the pick and roll gave a great chance to get that second foul. Our help side position just was a step slow getting there.
Meese, 61% from the free throw line this season, 68% in Big 12 conference play. Shooting 2. First one off the back iron and no good. Played at prolific Prep School Academy after moving to the United States. There's a second one coming for the freshman, Eve Meesey. This one is good. That's Baylor's first points. Texas leads 6-1. Asmus into the front court, guarded by Jaden Nunn. Pass goes up top. Ithiel Horton has it. IT off to Asmus, tightly guarded by Nunn. High screen set by DeSue. Pass goes to Mitchell. Dillon pulls the ball back out. 10 on the shot clock. Now to Asmus. Deep three, and it's good from the left side as Max knocks down career three-pointer number 501 as he hits that one in, and Texas now leads 9-1. To the right side, Baylor has it. And on the left wing is Ray J. Dennis. Dennis trying to spin around Hunter, driving down the lane, uses the glass to score.
Good job of just getting by the initial line of defense for Texas to start off really shooting the ball well in the three-point areas.
Hunter out between the circles. Tyrese onto the right side. Picks up the dribble. Now to IT Horton, right corner. Trying to split a couple of defenders. Pulls it back out. Flips a pass from the right elbow. Mitchell going to drive in on Meesey. Got him off his feet. Uses the glass to score with the left hand.
Well, good job taking up the slack on the elbow. They gave him a shot at the free throw line extended, but he did a better job of attacking.
Longhorns have opened 4 for 4 from the floor, and they lead it 11-3, 3 minutes into the action. Meesey to the left side to Jacoby Walter. Up top, Ray J. Dennis. Dennis sends it out to Walter. He'll tee up a long three. That's no good. Deep rebound. Run down by Horton for Texas. Quick outlet to Asmus. Max driving on Jaden Nunn. Goes right around him to score off the glass. So Asmus has 5. Texas up 10 early, 13-3. And Scott Drew's going to call a timeout as the Longhorns have sprinted out to an early 10-point lead here, Eddie.
But it just kept it simple. Transition. Make the pass. Just kept it very simple. Hit the threes, and they're playing good defense, not allowing second looks.
30-second timeout called here. We're not yet inside the 30-second window to the full timeout because it's at 16:40 to go in the first. That gives us the opportunity to tell you that with championship golf, world-class tennis, great family experiences, and the Spieth lower 46-hole par 3 short course, the UT Golf Club is all about Texas tradition. Visit the club or log on to utgolfclub.com for more information, where champions play. Longhorns 5 for 5 from the floor to open the game, including 3 made three-pointers. Baylor 1 of 3 from the floor, but we were going to definitely watch rebounding tonight. Texas an early 2-zip edge on the rebounds, and that one of those was a deep rebound there, and one Baylor turnover that led to a Texas three-pointer.
Well, and then Austin against Baylor, first game, they were 9 for 19. They shot well, and Baylor shot well, too. Both teams shot well from 3, but Texas off to a great start tonight.
All right, Dylan DeSue did start the game and looked normal enough on the floor, even though he's been dealing with the stomach virus. He checks out now, and on for the first time for the Longhorns is Caden Shedrick. 6'11", 231-pound grad transfer student from Holly Springs, North Carolina. Transferred in from Virginia, averaging 8 points, 3 rebounds, and a block shot per game. Baylor with its original starting 5 coming out of the timeout. A bounce pass goes to Jalen Bridges, throws it to Nunn, all in one motion off the glass.
That was a set play out of bounds. Get a mismatch, isolate, and lob.
Texas 13, Baylor 5, 16:20 to go first half. Up top, Caden Shedrick. Couple of dribbles off to Max Asmus. Asmus left wing. Sends it to Mitchell. Dillon looking inside. Swings it out to the right. Here's Hunter trying to drive inside. Now pulls it back out with 10 on the shot clock. Tyrese still working against Ray J. Dennis. Rifles it across the floor. Horton goes around traffic from the baseline. Jumper good for IT Horton. 4th different Longhorn to score. Longhorn 6 for 6 from the floor, and they lead 15-5.
Pulled up with a little crossover on the closeout and knocked it down.
Ray J. Dennis on the left side trying to drive on Tyrese Hunter. Can't. Flips a pass back out front to Jalen Bridges. Bridges will shoot over Dylan Mitchell. A 3, and he nails it.
Well, that's what he can do.
Well, Mitchell had good coverage on him, but he still is out there pretty far. So it's 13-8. 15-8, Texas up by 7. Here's Hunter on the left side. Out to Mitchell. Top of the arc to the right side. Abrams to fire up another 3. That's off the rim. No good. First Texas miss of the night. And the rebound to Baylor cleared by E. Meesey. Into the front court, Ray J. Dennis spinning on Horton. Drives in off the glass. Missed the tip-up try off the mark. Longhorns have the rebound on the run out. Here's Hunter. Right side. Goes right around Nunn, but had his shot blocked from behind by Jaden Nunn. As he went around Jacoby Walter, Nunn blocked the shot. Out front to Nunn. Guarded by Hunter. Under 15 to go first half. Driving on Shedrick. Shot off the glass. No good by Meesey. Rebound Texas. Here's Horton into the front court. IT goes around Dennis, and a reach-around foul called on Ray J. Dennis. Dennis picks up the first foul of the evening for him. Second team foul against Baylor. We have our first official timeout. 14:48 to go first half here in Waco. Early on, Texas looks good. Longhorns lead the Bears 15-8 on the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Presents what to expect when you're expecting a teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for greatest of all time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Longhorn basketball is brought to you in part by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Texas athletics. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Longhorns out to a 15-8 lead on the Baylor Bears. Texas has hit 6 of 8 shots to open the game. Baylor is 3 of 8 from the floor. Rebounding edge early to the Horns by 1. 4 of 3 turnovers, 1 for the Bears, none for the Longhorns. That one Baylor giveaway led to a Texas three-pointer. Points in the paint go to Baylor so far, 4-2. Fast break points to Texas. 2-0. Early impressions, Eddie?
Well, Texas is taking what's available. They're taking the threes when they got it available. They're not forcing the action. It looks as if Missy's going one-on-one. They're isolating him. Texas doing a good job, took a charge, and then not allowing him to finish. But, I mean, they're off to a good start both on both ends.
And obviously, as like we said, Dylan DeSue was going to be a game-time decision. Dylan did start the game and played the first 4.5 minutes or so, went out during the Baylor 30-second timeout. So I'm sure Rodney Terry there wanted to keep him hydrated and keep him feeling as comfortable as he can given his current situation battling that stomach virus.
Well, if he can get 4 or 5 more minutes, it just helps to get guys rest and take away the heavy minutes for maybe a guy that was not going to play that.
A couple more substitutions for the Longhorns. I.T. Horton checks out on for the first time. Kendall Weaver, 6'3", 180-pound sophomore transfer guard from Mansfield Timberview, transferred in from UT Arlington, averaging 6 points, 3 rebounds per game, coming off a Texas career-high performance in scoring of 16. And Brock Cunningham has checked in as well. Longhorns have to hurry to inbound the ball, and it is inbounded to Cunningham. And now he leads it for Max Asmus. Asmus, top of the arc, rolls the dribble to the left side. Picks up the dribble now. Now to Hunter. Tyrese to the right side. Sprint and dribble against Dennis. Pulls up, and the shot missed. Offensive rebound. Jump hook, no good by Shedrick, but he's fouled from behind. And he'll go to the line. The Baylor foul is going to be on Jacoby Walter, his first. And the third team foul. We mentioned Brock Cunningham checking in for the first time. 6'6", 210-pound, 6-year senior grad student at a Westlake High in the Austin area, averaging 5 points, 4 boards, and 2 assists. On the line, Caden Shedrick, 73% from the free throw line this season, 71% in Big 12 conference play. The first one is good. Caden's first point. He'll have one more. Also good. Knocks down both. And the Texas lead is 9 at 17-8. 14.5 to go first half. Into the front court. Jalen Bridges leaves it for Jacoby Walter. Guarded by Kendall Weaver. Up top. They work the ball around. Josh Ojonwunya had just checked in. Offensive foul on a moving screen against the Bears. That foul is going to be on Josh Ojonwunya. Ojanwuna is a 6'10", 230-pound sophomore from Asaba, Nigeria, averaging 5 points, 3 rebounds per game. So he picks up the foul. Longhorns will inbound the basketball. And it'll be Max Asmus who brings it into the front court. Flips it to Brock Cunningham up top. Brock, a couple of dribbles against Jalen Bridges, drops it off to Tyrese Hunter. Hunter to the left side, Kendall Weaver behind the back dribble and had it stolen from him by Jalen Bridges. Coming down the floor, a 2-on-1, goes up, and Weaver blocked the shot, but he's called for a foul. Tony Chiazza on the call. Kendall picks up the personal, his first. So it'll be free throws to come for Bridges. Jalen, 85% for the foul line this year, 84% in Big 12 conference play. He'll be shooting 2.
Craig, Baylor's man is really struggling with our quickness on our perimeter guys. Our guards are really going downhill, so look for the continue to put pressure on the guards.
Here's Bridges, first free throw good. Dylan DeSue back on the floor now for Texas. He'll check in for Caden Shedrick. So a second one to come now for Jalen Bridges.
Any minutes Dylan can give us is a bonus.
No doubt. Here's the second one coming for Bridges. That one rattled in and out, in the rebound of Tyrese Hunter. Longhorns lead by 8, 17-9. 13:50 to go first half. Hunter on the left wing for Texas. Up top goes to Max Asmus. Asmus on the right side against Ray J. Dennis. Sends it to the right wing to DeSue. Launches a 3, and it's good. Dylan DeSue knocks down his first shot.
They got a technical foul. I don't know why.
It's called on Dylan. Rodney Terry asking what for. So DeSue picks up the technical after knocking down the 3. Texas is up by 11 at 20-9. Looking at a replay, DeSue launching a contested 3, hit it.
That's weak.
I guess he waved his arm over toward the Baylor bench, and that's what got it. So, Jalen Bridges will be on the line shooting the technical. First one is good. Now he'll have one more. That one is also good. So that nullifies 2 of the 3 points the Longhorns gained on the DeSue 3 as Baylor's back within 9, 20-11, and now the Bears get the basketball.
Seen a lot worse go uncalled.
No doubt, and coaching staff was talking to the officials about it, but they're wanting to have control of this game early, no question.
Well, and this game has been one that can get out of control if you don't.
Bears inbound to Jacoby Walter. Walter, a left-hand dribble, working against Kendall Weaver, who knocked the ball from him. A steal, and he goes in, and he's fouled going up. Shot no good. But Kendall will be on the line to shoot 2 because the officials held the arm in the air. That foul is going to be on Jacoby Walter, and that's his second. So Kendall with the steal. Yeah, he definitely fouled him. And it'll be Weaver on the line. Kendall, 70% from the foul line this year, 69% in Big 12 conference play. Shooting 2. The first one is good.
Well, that's the difference right now in this game is the quickness on the perimeter. Our quickness to their quickness, both ends.
Here's the second free throw for Kendall Weaver. And this one, likewise good. So the Longhorns get back the 2 points. They surrendered on the technical foul because of the foul there. And then not only that, Jacoby Walter right now is out there with 2 personal fouls. He's going to continue to play with 2 right now.
And they're taking a chance on that.
So Walter, the freshman, will inbound. 13:27 to go first half. Texas up by 11, 22-11. It matches their largest lead early here. Into the front court. Pass goes in the corner. Bridges, a 3-pointer. It's good.
Cannot leave him open.
He has 9 of the Bears' 14. It's 22-14 Texas. Cunningham in the left corner. Thought about a 3, doesn't shoot it. Now it's back out front as Asmus has it and rolls the dribble over to the left side. Max Still on the dribble at the top of the arc, trying to go through traffic, pull-up jumper. That's good for Max from the right wing.
Just take what's there, keep it simple. Don't try to overdo it.
Texas 24, Baylor 14, 12:45 remaining first half. Into the front court, on the dribble is Miro Little, just checked in, shot put up, and then that one was knocked out of bounds and went off Baylor. Miro Little's a 6'4", 185-pound freshman guard from Tampere, Finland, averaging 2 points and a rebound per game. Longhorns with the basketball, up 10, 24-14. Misi and Nunn check back in for the Bears. Ojonwinam and Little check out for Baylor. So, on the dribble is Asmus, brings it into the front court. Max between the circles to the right side. Swings it to Dessou. He'll launch another three. That one's off the front iron. No good. Rebound Baylor. Quick outlet. And it's pulled down by Walter. Drives in around traffic. Shot rejected. But they'll get a foul call against Texas. We'll see on whom this foul is called. Terry Oglesby, the official, tells us it's going to be on Dylan Mitchell. That'll be his first. And 14th foul against Texas. And a couple of free throws to come now for Baylor. And it'll be Jacoby Walter on the line. Walter, an 84% free throw shooter, 82% in Big 12 conference play. First one for Walter is good.
Well, he took that ball in there as if he didn't have any fouls, and you get a charge on him, but he's still out there, so I'd go at him on both ends.
Here's the second one for Jacoby Walter. And this one is good. Walter, his first two. The Texas lead is 8. 24-16 Longhorns. 12:15 to go first half. Asmus on the dribble. Has it. Flips a pass to Dylan Dessou up top. Dessou against Jalen Bridges. Drops it. Asmus. NBA range three, and it's good. He drains it from deep down the middle. Asmus with 10. The Longhorn lead is 11 at 27-16.
Well, these guys like this rim here.
Into the front court, Ray J. Dennis on the dribble against Kendall Weaver to the left side. Flips a pass, stolen by Asmus. Here's Max into the front court. Now pulls the ball back out front, looking in the corner. He'll shoot another three. It's good. Asmus with 13. Baylor on its heels right now as the Longhorn lead is 14 at 30-16.
And these fans are on their seats too.
Bridges to the right side to E. Misi up top. Flips it to Ray J. Dennis. Dennis to the right side, trying to go around traffic. Now to the left side again, trying to drive to the baseline. Launches with the right hand, off the rim, no good. Misi with a rebound, but a foul on the floor against the Longhorns. And that Texas foul is going to be on Kendall Weaver, and that's going to be his second. We have a timeout here with 11 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first half. The score is Texas 30, Baylor 16 on the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakimick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Live astride the Brazos River, you're listening to Texas Longhorns basketball from Learfield. Longhorns basketball is brought to you in part by St. David's Healthcare, an official healthcare provider of Texas athletics. The best is here. Longhorns continue their good start. They're up by 14 on Baylor. It's their largest lead, 30-16, with 11-12 to go in the first half. Good shooting. It goes a long way. The Longhorns are shooting 71% right now. They've hit 10 of 14 from the floor, 6 of 8 from three-point range. They've knocked down all 4 of their free throws. Baylor 4 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 beyond the arc, 6 of 8 from the foul line. Rebounding edge to Texas, 7 of 5 turnovers, 4 for Baylor, 1 for Texas. Longhorns with an 8-1 edge in the points off the turnovers, and they've been the more aggressive team so far, Eddie.
There's no doubt about it, Craig, and they've done a good job. You use the word a lot, measuring up. They're measuring the defense up. Those guys not coming out, they're knocking it down, they're hot, and doing a good job putting the pressure on Baylor with the ball.
Now the Longhorns right now have 5 team fouls, as does Baylor. The only one in some foul difficulty is Kendall Weaver, who picked up his second. So he'll go back to the bench now. And Tyrese Hunter is back on the floor for Texas. So the Longhorn lineup right now is Tyrese Hunter, I.T. Horton, Brock Cunningham, Dylan Mitchell, and Caden Shedrick back on for Dylan DeSue. Max Asmus getting a breather as well, as he has hit 5 of 6 shots to open the ball game, and 3 of 4 from three-point range. Baylor will inbound the basketball. It's a non-shooting foul, so Baylor will inbound. Into the corner as it goes to Jaden Nunn. Out front to Caleb Lohner, one of the seniors tonight for Baylor, former BYU Cougar, but a native Texan from Flower Mound, 6'8", 235-pound senior. And he has it now on the baseline. Launches with a right hand and scores.
Well, Baylor's rolling the dice, leaving Walter out there.
He's out there playing with 2. Let's see if the Bears go zone here. They show zone. Pass in the middle of it. The Mitchell bounce pass to the cutting. Cunningham goes up in traffic. Left his shot short, however, and the rebound to Baylor. To Ray J. Dennis. Into the front court. Dennis weaves to the left side. Picks it up. Cross-court pass. Works it to Jaden Nunn. Nunn to Messi. Trying to drive in on Caden Shedrick. Does off the glass. No good, but a foul called. And Terry Oglesby is going to get this one on Caden Shedrick. And Shedrick's now picked up 2. No, that's his first. It is the 16th foul against Texas.
Well, anytime they throw it to the high post, they just spread out and allow him to go one-on-one. And that's what the game plan is. He's going one-on-one downhill every time he catches it.
BC went 1 out of 2, his first trip to the line, and he hits this first one. We'll have another one now. Brock Cunningham checks out. Max Asmus back on for the Longhorns. Here's a second one for Yves Messi. It is good. So he's hit 3 out of 4 free throws for his 3 points. Texas lead trimmed to 10. 30-20 Longhorns. 10-20 to go first half. Out to Asmus. Wants another deep 3. No good. But a deep rebound run down by I.T. Horton. So the Horns reset. Out to Hunter on the right side. Now to Horton. I.T. trying to dribble penetrate. Asmus down to the baseline. Caden Shedrick out to Horton. He'll try the 3. It's off the rim. No good, and went over the top. And Dylan Mitchell was soaring in to try to get a follow slam, but it went over the top of the backboard on the carom. Jalen Bridges returns for Baylor. Jacoby Walter now takes a seat with those 2 fouls. Bears with the basketball. Midway mark of the first half. 10 minutes to go first half. 10-point Texas lead, 30-20. Ray J. Dennis on the dribble. Into the front court. Dennis to the left side, trying to drive past the defense along the baseline. Dumps a pass in, broken up and stolen. Taken away by Tyrese Hunter. Into the front court, Hunter for the Longhorns to the right side to Asmus. Max swings it middle of the zone to Shedrick. Turnaround floater is good for Caden.
That's what I keep saying. Just keep it simple. Make the simple play, and that's what Texas is doing.
Longhorns lead by 12, 32-20. Ray J. Dennis on the dribble, and he'll bring it into the front court. Guarded by Tyrese Hunter to the right side of Caleb Lohner. He's picked up by I.T. Horton. To the left side to Jalen Bridges. 10 on the shot clock. Bridges to the right side to Jay Nunn. Glances at the shot clock, which now shows 6. And still trying to drive on it. Down to 3. Down to 2. Goes down the lane. Put it up in traffic. Missed it. It went off the glass. But the shot clock reset. Now, I think they're going to take a look at this to see if it hit the rim. I didn't see it hit the rim. If it didn't, it would be a shot clock violation.
Well, we'll see here. I didn't think it hit the rim either. Let's see here.
As it goes up, it did not hit the rim.
No, it didn't.
That's going to be a shot clock violation. They're going to review this, and these points are going to come off the board. So they'll go over and take a look at this. But from what we saw, on the one replay angle we saw, it did not look like it touched the rim in any way.
It didn't.
And if that's the case, then that basket will not count. For the moment, it's on the board as having counted. We get another look at it. As Nunn drove in, he released it with 1.7 and went up, hit the glass.
No,
I didn't see it hit. And the shot clock immediately reset.
Yes.
So now they get a look from up top. We'll get another look. Off the glass. Missed it. This is going to be a shot clock violation.
You know, you got to credit the officials on that non-call on that drive, because, I thought he was fouled at first after looking at it. No, there was no foul.
No foul, and of course they can't retroactively whistle a foul anyway.
Right.
But beyond that, and they want to make sure, they're going to take another look. I think the up top angle shows it best.
Yeah, it went over the rim and hit the other side of the backboard, which allowed him to tip it in and grab it. See, it's going to go.
Yep. And I think
other side comes off. No,
it never touched it. I mean, it's pretty clear to see that it did not hit it. So now, what they'll do is they got to get it correct on the scoreboard time, reset the shot clock to 30, and award possession to Texas and take the points off the board. So that's what Kip Kissinger and Terry Oglesby are discussing right now as they look at it, and they got to see the clock time on this.
And so many times we're saying, why are they taking so long? He didn't hit the rim, but that's exactly what they're doing.
All right. Wow. Are they going to let it count?
You got to be kidding me.
They said they did not see enough to overturn it?
Are you kidding me?
Okay. So it's going to count. It's a basket for Misi.
Well, they didn't have our camera angle.
It's either that, or all I can assume is that Misi's tip back went before the shot clock buzzer. Well, they reset the shot clock so quickly, there's no way to tell.
Right.
So the basket counts, and it's 32-22. Texas with it. Baylor matching up out of the zone. The extended pass goes to Shedrick along the baseline. Now to Horton. IT. Couple of dribbles. 10 on the shot clock. Bounce pass. Works it. Shedrick will shoot from the baseline. No good. And the rebound, Misi for the Bears. Works it to Ray J. Dennis into the front court. 32-22 Longhorns. Pass goes to the right side. Here's Misi driving in on Shedrick. Goes up, and he forced an alter the shot. He missed it. Got his own rebound. Goes back up. That one's blocked, and the Longhorns come away with it. Horton off the Caden Shedrick block. Into the front court to Horton. Out of the right side to Tyrese Hunter. Sends a pass. Shedrick out front. Horton again. IT on the dribble. Pulls it back out. Swings it left side of Max Asmus. In the left corner to Caden Shedrick. Asmus again trying to drive on Nunn. To the right side, Horton drives down the lane and fouled going up. He'll be on the line to shoot 2. So there'll be 2 free throws to come. And it'll be IT Horton going to the line. Foul was on Ray J. Dennis, and that's his second. So 2 on Dennis. Here's IT Horton, 71% from the line this year, 82% in conference play, and the first one's good.
Well, they have nothing to gripe about on that.
And the second one. IT Horton, deep breath. Now has it on the way. It's good. Horton converts both. He checks out now. Brock Cunningham back on. And Texas with the lead by a score of 34-22 at the 8-minute mark of the first half. Ray J. Dennis on the dribble for Baylor. Works it into the front court. Dennis against Tyrese Hunter. Out front. Each team is committed 16 fouls. Dennis driving to the baseline. Flips a pass into the corner. Pass broken up by the Longhorns. It's stolen away. Here goes Hasemus in a foot race. Off the glass. Max scores again. 15 first half points for Max Hasemus. The Longhorn lead is 14 at 36-22.
Well, he went right at Walter. Walter was guarding him, and he couldn't do anything with it. And Max realized it and put it right off the top of the rim, backboard into the rim.
Walter had to let him go, playing with 2 fouls. Here's Bridges, another long three. It's good. He's hit 3 here in the first half and has 12 points. Texas lead is 11 at 36-25. 7:10 to go first half. Bounce pass goes to Cunningham. Left side now to the cutting Hunter, but he missed it underneath. And the rebound Baylor. Here's Bridges into the front court. Backs out the dribble now, looks to Messi up top, swings it right side, Jacoby Walter. Almost lost the ball against Hunter. Outside to Bridges, trying to drive in, he'll shoot another 3. This one is good. And Rodney Terry's going to call a timeout. Well, he's really upset the Longhorns didn't get close enough on Bridges, and he has hit 4 threes in the first half. And as a result, the Texas lead is down to 8. 6:41 to go in the first half. The score is Texas 36, Baylor 28. Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
At St. David's Healthcare, we talk a lot about being the best. It's not just talk. We show it through innovation, hard work, heart, and of course, victories. St. David's Healthcare is proud to be an official healthcare provider of Texas Athletics. And as UT Athletic Director Chris Del Conte would say,
the best is here, and together we are changing the world. Hook 'em.
It's funny, no matter how well you know this land, you always seem to get lost in it. That's because it's your escape, your place to reconnect to nature and yourself. At Capital Farm Credit, we're proud to help people like you purchase recreational land where you can hunt, fish, four-wheel, or simply get lost in. To learn how we can help you secure land like this, visit CapitalFarmCredit.com. Capital Farm Credit. Together, we're better.
Dulce Vita Blanco Tequila will give you a winning taste in every sip. Made with 100% organic blue agave, harvested in Los Altos, Mexico, Dulce Vita Blanco is additive-free and great in a classic margarita. Try the Dulce Vita fruit-infused tequilas that are all natural, low in calories, and made with real fruit. Whether it's spicy pineapple jalapeno, refreshing grapefruit, or mouth-watering lime, Dulce Vita is a hit every time. Dulce Vita. Tequila. Pure and simple. 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by Dulce Vita Spirits. Austin, Texas.
6:41 to go in the first half in Waco, Texas, with a 36-28 lead over Baylor. Dave Pulaski back inside the Learfield Network studios with a look at your WinStar World Resort Studio report. This is the only Big 12 game that's going on tonight, so let's get you updated on some of the rest of Texas athletics. How about the women's swim and diving team capturing the Big 12 championship for a 12th consecutive year? They won 21 of 22 events, and they end up getting the job done in the Big 12 championships. Meanwhile, Texas women's basketball's earned a bit of a break. They have the number 2 seed for the upcoming Big 12 tournament in Kansas City. They will get a double bye into the quarterfinals. They'll take on the winner of number 7 seed Kansas and number 10 seed BYU on Saturday at 5:30 p.m. And Texas baseball back in action at the Dish this week. They'll be going up against number 7 Texas A&M. 6:30 p.m. matchup. Limited tickets still available at TexasSports.com. Now back to brand new Foster Pavilion. Craig Way and Eddie Orn, guys.
Thanks very much, Dave. Yeah, there'll be quite the challenge for the Longhorn basketball team. That's an undefeated Texas A&M team at 11-0 and number 7 in the country coming in. And folks can hear that on our AM flagship station in Austin tomorrow evening. Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone, a 6:15 airtime and a 6:30 first pitch. Rodney Terry uses his first half, use it or lose it timeout, even though we were due an official timeout on the next dead ball. He didn't want to wait on it because Jalen Bridges has hit back-to-back threes, and he wants them to close out on him, if nobody else, a little quicker than they're doing.
Exactly right. And he's the only one that's hit a three for Baylor, whereas Texas shooting well from three also. But that's the one thing you want to do is know where he is on the floor, Bridges, and stay with him.
So the lead cut to 8 at 36-28. Longhorns had that 14-point lead prior to the back-to-back threes knocked down by Bridges. Texas will inbound the basketball. And it'll be Max Asmus bringing it into the front court against Jaden Nunn. Flips a pass to the left side. Tyrese Hunter to Asmus. Dessou just checked back in the corner to Horton, who knocks down a three. IT knocks down a three-pointer, his first of the ball game, and Texas back up 11 at 39-28.
Well, I think as long as Walter's in the game, Baylor goes on. Texas looking to shoot the perimeter shot.
He goes to Bridges. Cunningham guarding him now. Here's Jalen Bridges trying to drive in on Brock. Launches. Missed it off the rim in the lane, and the rebound. Longhorns pulled down by IT Horton. Into the front court is Hunter. Tyrese on to the right side. Picks up the dribble. Bounce pass to Dylan Dessou. Top of the arc to the right side to Hunter again. Hunter across the floor to Horton. Sends it into Dessou. Middle of the zone. Now out to Hunter. Tyrese will shoot over to three. Rattled in and out. No good. It was halfway down. Popped out. Rebound Baylor.
Boy, it looked good from here.
Bridges with it onto the right side. Guarded by Dessou on the switch now. Jalen Bridges drops off a pass to Jaden Nunn. He's guarded by Max Asmus. 5:35 to go in the half. Texas up 11, 39-28. The left side, Walter on the left wing. Trying to drive baseline. Pull-up jumper from there. Short off the side iron. Rebound IT Horton for Texas. Into the front court. Leaves it now for Max Asmus. Asmus to Dylan Dessou. Back up top to Asmus. Sends a pass middle of the zone to Brock Cunningham. Now to Dessou in the paint. Left his turnaround one-hander just a little short off the front iron, and the rebound Baylor. Ray J. Dennis has it. Into the front court to the right side. Rolls the dribble to the left wing. Cross-court pass to Nunn. Trying to drive past Asmus along the baseline. Shoots a contested jumper from there. Missed it. Rattled in and out. Got his own rebound underneath. Shot put up no good. But a foul. A Texas foul. And that's called on Dessou, and counting the technical, that's his second.
The ball came right off to him. Just bounced his way.
Otherwise, the Longhorns have done an excellent job on the boards here in the first half. Baylor does have the lead to 13-11, but the Longhorns have been able to fight hard on the glass, and now Nunn is on the line. Caden Shedrick's going to check back in for Texas. Dessou will take a seat after picking up that second personal foul. First one is good for Jaden Nunn. So Dessou is out with 2 fouls. Meanwhile, Josh Ojanwuez checks in for Eve Massey for Baylor. Here's the second one for Jaden Nunn. 69% from the line this year, 64% in conference play, and he hits the second. So again, the Texas lead is trimmed. It's down to 9, 39-30, under 5 minutes remaining in the half. Asmus on the dribble into the front court. To the right side, Tyrese Hunter. Back to Max Asmus, trying to drive in. Sends it to Shedrick along the block against Ojanwuez. Trying to back him down. Spins, turns, sends it into the corner. Horton to shoot another three. No good off the side iron, and the rebound to Nunn for Baylor. Into the front court, Jaden Nunn to the left side, guarded by Tyrese Hunter. Working on him, trying to take him off the dribble. Into the paint, stops, and puts up an off-balance jumper. Missed it. Ball went out of bounds off Texas. Baylor will get it with a fresh 20 seconds.
Did a good job on Nunn. They really pushed him. He forced him to maybe get a quick shot, but Texas really playing good perimeter defense.
4:21 to go in the half. Bears will inbound on the baseline. Texas up 9 at 39-30. Ray J. Dennis to inbound for Baylor. Lobs it in to Nunn. Now in the corner to Dennis. Fadeaway three, short off the side iron. Rebound Texas. Cleared by Max Asmus. Into the front court, Asmus. Angles to the right side with it. Into the corner now. Here's Hunter driving baseline. Bounce pass. Shaden off the glass. Good. Caden Shedrick puts it on me. A 6.5. Texas back up double digits, up by 11 at 41-30.
That's where that left hand comes in handy. Good job of finish with that left hand.
Ojanwuez leaves it now for Jacoby Walter. Out between the circles, guarded by IT Horton. To the left side, Jalen Bridges trying to drive past Brock Cunningham to the baseline. Running out of room. Dishes to Jaden Nunn in the right corner. Nunn pulls the dribble out with 10 on the shot clock. To Ojanwuez. High post against Caden Shedrick. 6 to shoot to Ray J. Dennis. Dennis looking for a target. Down to 3 to shoot. Walter down the lane. Threw it up off balance. Missed it. Rebound loose on the floor. Controlled for Texas by Max Asmus. Into the front court. Lead pass to the cutting Shedrick. Hit from behind. No foul called. And Baylor comes away with a loose basketball. Into the front court. Pass goes in to the block underneath. And a foul called as Ojanwuez hits the deck. And that foul, I believe, is going to be on Horton. That would be his second. If Kissinger comes over, and the foul is on IT. That's his second personal foul. Will be free throws to come after the timeout with 3:20 to go in the half. The score is Texas 41 and Baylor 30. Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
The sound of an ice-cold Corona is music to my ears. Oh, run that back. Dope. Now drop that beat. And hit me with the hook, player. Hey, whatever you do with your fine life, just do you, player. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace.
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
you can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Texas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
It's a new season at Kohl's. Find fresh, everyday styles for you and your home at great prices. Shop Kohl's and Kohl's.com today. 3:20 to go in the half. That foul was on I.T. Horton. It's his second foul. Longhorns who have some foul difficulty. Kendall Weaver with 2, I.T. Horton with 2, and Dylan DeSue with 2, and that includes that technical he got after nailing a three-pointer early. Longhorns still shooting well, 52% from the floor, 54%, 7 out of 13 from three-point range, and they've hit all 6 of their free throws. Baylor, 8 of 24 from the field, just 33%. They are 4 of 7 from three-point range, and that includes Jalen Bridges, by the way, being a perfect 4 for 4 beyond the arc. As Eddie mentioned, he's the only one who's hit one. Ray J. Dennis has missed 2, and Jacoby Walter has missed 1. But you got to keep Baylor off the foul line. The Bears have hit 10 of 12. They're getting ready to go back again. As a team, they shoot 73%, 74% as a team in conference play. So that's going to be important to limit the fouls because they're starting to add up for Texas.
Well, I always talk about saying make shooters drivers, make drivers shooters. And Texas has done a great job of closing out on the perimeter, Baylor's perimeter, and forcing those guys to go one-on-one, which is out of their scoring zone.
So, out of the timeout, Longhorns have Tyrese Hunter, Max Asmus, I.T. Horton, Brock Cunningham, and Caden Shedrick. The Bears with Ray J. Dennis, Jaden Nunn, Jacoby Walter, Jalen Bridges, and on the line, Josh Ojanwuna, 63% from the foul line this year, 70% in Big 12 conference play. So Ojanwuna shooting 2, and the first one is good. His first point.
I'm really shocked they're leaving Walter on the floor, especially when they're going back on defense. But it tells me they're going to continue to play zone as long as he's in the game.
Ojanwuna played at the NBA Global Academy after moving to the States from Nigeria. The second free throw is good. Texas lead trimmed to 9 at 41-32, 3:20 remaining in the half. Texas will bring it into the front court. It's Asmus to the right side to Tyrese Hunter. Baylor in that 2-3 zone. Asmus sends a pass against it, but it's a turnover. It's batted away, intended for Shedrick. So a turnover against the Longhorns. Here's Walter to the left side. Swings it across the floor to Jaden Nunn. Now over to the left wing. That was only the second Texas turnover of the ball game. Ojanwuna had the ball knocked out of his hands, picks it up again, flips it back out front. And for Baylor, to the left side is Walter. 10 on the shot clock. Again out front. He rotates to Jaden Nunn. Nunn trying to take Asmus off the dribble. Ball knocked loose by Brock Cunningham. Picked up and then lost. It's going to be a tie-up. The Longhorns will have it on the arrow. As Cunningham knocked it loose, Tyrese Hunter then got locked up with Jaden Nunn, and on the arrow, it'll belong to Texas.
Well, credit Nunn because he came out of nowhere to tie that one up.
Yeah, so it'll be Texas basketball.
And could very easily have called the foul on Nunn on diving on the floor.
Yeah, going after it.
Yep.
All right. It'll be inbounded now And Max Asmus will bring it into the front court. Texas leading by 9 at 41-32. So we approach 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Tyrese Hunter guarded by Ray J. Dennis on the right side. Up top now as Baylor extends that zone over the left wing. Now back to Hunter on the right side from Asmus. Tyrese on the dribble. Again, Asmus trying to drive in against it. Pulls up. Left elbow jumper good for Max. Asmus now with 17 in the first half. Texas back up by 11, 43-32.
Mr. Bucket.
Indeed. Into the front court. Bridges over the left side of Jacoby Walter. Walter to Ojanwa. That was a defensive breakdown. He slipped free and got it off the glass for 2. His first field goal. Under 2 minutes. Again, a 9-point Longhorn lead, 43-34. Asmus on the left side. Sends it to Cunningham. Left elbow. Turnaround jumper. Good for Brock. His first bucket of the night. Texas back up double digits. 45-34 Longhorns with 100 seconds remaining in the half. Walter on the left wing. Swings it up top. Josh Ojanwa sends it to Ray J. Dennis. Into the corner. Bridges coming off a screen for 3. It's good. Wow. 18 first half points. 5 for 5 beyond the arc for Jalen Bridges.
He was off balance on that catch.
Lead back to 8, 45-37. A minute 15 to go in the half. Here's Hunter on the dribble in the right corner. To I.T. Horton. Horton pounding it out against Jacoby Walter. Back to Tyrese Hunter again. Sends it to Cunningham, middle of the zone. Now to Hunter, cutting to the basket. Spins, turns, dumps it to Shedrick for a slam dunk. Caden with 8. And the officials stop play. The ball was knocked out of bounds. It still belonged to Baylor. 59 seconds remaining in the half as Texas leads by 10, 47-37. So the Bears will inbound the basketball. They have not changed it on the scoreboard yet, but it is 47-37 off the slam dunk by Caden Shedrick. Still have not changed it on the scoreboard. Under a minute remaining in the half. To the right side, Lohner holds up against Cunningham with it. Backs it out now to Ojanwa. Swings it to Ray J. Dennis. Dennis on the dribble. 40 seconds to go first half. Trying to drive in to the left side. Puts it up off the glass. It's good and he's fouled. Made the late move to the bucket. Got the basket and one. And the foul's on I.T. Horton, and that's his third. So Horton picks up his third personal. He kind of had to stay out there with all of the other foul difficulty, but now he has 3. And on the line, going for a three-point play is Ray J. Dennis. So Dennis, 71% from the free throw line this year, 70% in Big 12 conference play. The free throw is good. He has 5. The Texas lead down to 7 now, 47-40. 35 seconds remaining in the half. It'll be Asmus into the front court. Left side to Hunter. Now to Asmus on the right wing. To Brock Cunningham, top of the arc to the left side to Tyrese Hunter. About 7 seconds difference, game and shot clock. Cunningham with it, trying to drive past Lohner in the paint. Puts it up. Couldn't get the shot to fall, but he was fouled by Caleb Lohner, and he'll go to the line. Lohner picks up his first.
Well, he felt the defense, knew right where they was. That's why he got the shot up. He drew the foul. Smart play.
15.8 to go in the half. Cunningham, 91% from the free throw line this year, 92% in Big 12 conference play. So Brock will shoot 2 here with 15.8 to go in the half. First one for Cunningham is good. Dylan Mitchell back on the floor for Texas. And it'll be the second free throw coming for Brock Cunningham. Here's the second one for Brock. This one rattled out, a rare miss for him, and a rebound Baylor. 48-40 Texas. Baylor working for the last shot. 10 seconds to go in the half. Into the front court. Ray J. Dennis glances at the clock. Down to 5 seconds. Working to the right side. Trying to drive in and threw it into the seats. Longhorns. It'll actually be Baylor ball. It was tipped by Texas. 0.7 seconds to go in the half. And Baylor will inbound with 0.7. They're going to get Meese back in there perhaps to try to lob it in for a tip.
And that's about all they can do on this.
0.7 seconds. 0.7 of a second.
They're on it.
But it rattled out, and the Longhorns will take an 8-point lead into the locker room. into the first half from here in Waco. The Texas Longhorns lead it by 8, 48-40. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Live from Waco, you're listening to Texas Longhorns basketball from Learfield. Halftime here in Waco, the score, Texas 48, Baylor 40. Up next, Dave Pulaski in our Longhorn Radio Network studios from Learfield with a look around the country, college basketball, all that and more when Texas Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
In the game of business, information is your playbook. It's the thing that keeps everyone on the same page so that each player has the knowledge they need to perform their role, work together, and give your team a competitive advantage. The trick, of course, is executing that playbook. And that's where Rico comes in. We're a proud sponsor and business technology provider of Texas Athletics, and we're ready to play for your team whenever you want an edge. We love TMI. Hook 'em horns, Rico. Imagine change.
The sound of an ice cold Corona is music to my ears. Oh, run that back. Dope. Now drop that beat. And hit me with the hook, player. Hey, whatever you do with your fine life, just do you, player. Relax responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Texas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
Longhorns fans, customize your car wash experience today with the new Zips Car Wash mobile app. Download the app today and start earning points with every in-app purchase. And get access to app-exclusive offers that save you money. Zips Unlimited members can even earn points for monthly membership purchases. Plus, when you download the app today, your first car wash is on us. Available for iOS and Android. Zips has 36 locations across Texas to serve you. Zips Car Wash, proud sponsor of Texas Athletics.
At St. David's Healthcare, we talk a lot about being the best. It's not just talk. We show it through innovation, hard work, heart, and of course, victories. St. David's Healthcare is proud to be an official healthcare provider of Texas Athletics. And as UT Athletic Director Chris Del Conte would say,
the best is here, and together we are changing the world. Hook 'em.
It's halftime on the Longhorn Radio Network. Now let's head to the Learfield Network studios.
Texas up 48-40 on Baylor in Waco at the break. Dave Pulaski back inside the Learfield Network studios as we get you caught up on the Big 12 scoreboard here in this WinStar World Resort Studio Report. This is the only Big 12 game that's going on today, but a big week ahead in the Big 12 as we have the final week of the regular season. Lots of positioning to play for in the standings for the upcoming Big 12 tournament. And as we look ahead, Texas Tech, one of those teams in front of Texas right now in the standings at 9-7, part of a three-way tie for fourth place with BYU and Kansas. They're on the road at Oklahoma State. Senior night in Stillwater tomorrow night. Oklahoma State has lost 3 in a row and 5 of the last 7, but they have won 4 straight meetings against the Red Raiders in Stillwater, and they're 27-5 all time at home against the Red Raiders. Meanwhile, Cincinnati and Oklahoma will do battle. Cincinnati coming off a nail-biting win against Kansas State on Saturday to snap a 3-game skid. They lost to Oklahoma on January 20th. That was their first meeting with the Sooners since 2011. That was a 56-55 win in Cincinnati. Bearcats, of course, new to the Big 12 Conference. The Sunflower Showdown takes place tomorrow night at Allen Fieldhouse. K-State, with that loss to Cincinnati, they're 2-4 in their last 6 games. They're part of the next 4 out, according to ESPN's bracketology for the NCAA tournament. Kansas, meanwhile, they suffered the 82-74 loss at Baylor on Saturday. They're 3-4 in their last 7 games, but they're playing at home on senior night, and they almost never lose when that happens. 39 straight senior night wins going back to 1983-84, and they're 14-1 at Allen Fieldhouse this season. Continuing our look at the midweek games in Big 12 action, number 1 Houston travels to UCF to take on a Knights team that already has 3 wins against ranked opponents this season. First time they've ever done that. West Virginia will welcome in TCU. The Horned Frogs currently a number 9 seed for the NCAA tournament, but they've struggled as of late, having dropped 3 of their last 4 games. And number 20 BYU back into the top 25 after defeating TCU on Saturday. They are at number 20, and they will challenge number 6 Iowa State, and the Cyclones putting their perfect 17-0 home record on the line. After this timeout, we'll get you caught up on the top 25 scoreboard, and we'll have a first half recap. Longhorns leading Baylor 48-40 at the break. And you're listening to the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh. I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Halftime continues from Waco, Texas, with a 48-40 lead over 11th-ranked Baylor at the break. Dave Pulaski back inside the Learfield Network studios. Time now for your WinStar World Resort Studio Reporter as we check out the top 25. Only one other nationally ranked matchup going on tonight. Number 9 Duke on the road at NC State in an Old Tobacco Road rivalry. Blue Devils handle the Wolfpack 79-64 as they remain within striking distance of North Carolina in the ACC standings. Duke currently a half game behind the Tar Heels, and they will host Carolina coming up on Saturday at Cameron Indoor Stadium in the regular season finale. Time now for our first half highlight recap as Texas was able to get the early jump on Baylor thanks to some hot shooting from Tyrese Hunter.
Now to the left side. And it goes out to Hunter again. He'll shoot another 3. That one's good. So it's Tyrese Hunter 6 and Baylor nothing in the first minute and a half of action.
And Texas was able to get a double-digit lead thanks to the quickness of Max Asmus.
Dennis sends it out to Walter. He'll tee up a long 3. That's no good. Deep rebound. Run down by Horton for Texas. Quick outlet to Asmus. Max driving on Jay Nunn. Goes right around him to score off the glass.
And after knocking down a couple of threes from deep, Asmus again able to get out in transition.
Into the corner. Pass broken up by the Longhorns. It's stolen away. Here goes Asmus in a foot race. Off the glass. Max scores again. 15 first half points for Max Asmus. The Longhorn lead is 14 at 36-22.
Asmus would have 17 first half points for the Longhorns, and that is tonight's best in the game, brought to you by Old Dominion Freight Line. Old Dominion Freight Line works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to be the official freight carrier of Texas Athletics. After this timeout, Craig will rejoin us from Waco with first half stats. Longhorns up 48-40 at halftime. And you're listening to the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer.
In response to attacks against Asian Americans, Maddie Park raised over $250,000 to donate cab rides to the Asian community.
There is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
Support the Asian community. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Halftime here in Waco with Texas on top of Baylor 48-40. The Longhorns shot 57% from the floor in the first half, 17 out of 30, 54% from three-point range, hitting to 7 of 13 shots beyond the arc. They were also 7 of 8 from the foul line. Baylor shot only 39%, 11 of 28. However, they were 5 of 7 from three-point range. All 5 of these three-pointers knocked down by Jalen Bridges, who was 5 of 6 from the field. They were also 13 of 15 from the foul line. Rebounding edge to the Bears, 17-14. Turnovers, 7 for Baylor, 2 for Texas. And the Longhorns averaging 2 points scored on each Baylor turnover. They've outscored Baylor 14-1 in the points off the turnovers. Points in the paint favor the Horns, 12-8. Second chance points the way of the Bears, 6-2. Fast break points favor Texas, 9-5. And the bench points, 13-6. Longhorns have led from the outset. This game has not been tied. Baylor has not had a lead. For the Bears, Jalen Bridges doing practically everything for them. He has 18 points on 5 of 6 shooting. All 5 shots were three-pointers. After that, 5 points from Eve Nisi, along with 7 rebounds, 5 from Ray J. Dennis, 4 from Jay Nunn, 4 from Joshua Johnwana, and then 2 each from Jacoby Walter and Caleb Lohner. Longhorns led by Max Haseman, 17 points, 7 from I.T. Horn to go with 6 rebounds. They also got 8 from Caden Shedrick in the first half, 3 each from Dylan DeSue and Brock Cunningham, and 2 points from Kendall Weaver and Dylan Mitchell. At the half, it's Texas 48, Baylor 40. Second half of the night's game coming up when Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
Fly to Philly, take off to Tampa, depart for Denver. Following your team on the road is more rewarding with the American Airlines Advantage program. Your flights and everyday spend not only earn you miles toward your next trip, but also loyalty points toward Advantage status. All the more reason to purchase both a home and away jersey. With status comes great benefits like priority boarding, free check bags, and complimentary upgrades. Not a member? Enroll for free today at AA.com. American Airlines, you are why we fly. Terms and conditions apply.
Spins with a drop step, win reverse side and scored. What a pretty move.
Want to get in on the action at Moody Center? Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is proud to offer its members 2 free tickets to select Longhorns men's or women's basketball home games this season. Visit texassports.com/Texas Farm Bureau for complete details on how members can request tickets. That's texassports.com/Texas Farm Bureau for your free tickets to see the Horns on their home court. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.
Dulce Vita Blanco Tequila will give you a winning taste in every sip. Made with 100% organic blue agave harvested in Los Altos, Mexico, Dulce Vita Blanco is additive-free and great in a classic margarita. Try the Dulce Vita fruit-infused tequilas that are all natural, low in calories, and made with real fruit. Whether it's spicy pineapple jalapeno, refreshing grapefruit, or mouth-watering lime, Dulce Vita is a hit every time. Dulce Vita. Tequila. Pure and simple. 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by Dulce Vita Spirits. Austin, Texas.
With so many distractions in life, are you finding it hard to focus on the present, constantly looking down instead of looking up, feverishly trying to capture the moment instead of taking it in? Feel Free Tonic by Botanic Tonics can help. The calm, relaxing effects of kava root, coupled with naturally caffeinated cola nut, lion's mane mushroom, and rhodiola, make for the perfect balance boost to help keep you in the now. Discover the magic of kava with Feel Free Tonic. Texas fans can save $40 on their first order with code BEVO40. That's code BEVO40 at botanictonics.com.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Texas. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Texas and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Texas.
We get ready to start the second half. Texas Longhorns lead the 11th-ranked Baylor Bears here in Waco on Baylor's senior night, 48-40. Craig Way and Eddie Orrin with you. And, well, Rodney Terry said it all season long. Next man up, and with Dylan DeSue limited because of stomach virus, even though he has taken his turn out there and he'll start the second half, other guys have stepped up.
Yeah, they have stepped up, Craig, and I think the thing has really been good the last few games of their perimeter defense. The team that gets the stops is going to win this game, and so far Texas has done a better job on both ends, but the team who gets the stops will win this game.
It'll be Baylor basketball to begin the second half, moving left to right. And original starting fives on the floor for both sides. For the Bears, Ray J. Dennis, Jaden Nunn, Jacoby Walter, Jalen Bridges, and E. Meesey. The Longhorns, Tyrese Hunter, Max Asmus, Ithiel Horton, Dylan Mitchell, and Dylan DeSue. Baylor with the ball immediately. Meesey goes inside of Jacoby Walter, and he traveled. And that was both I.T. Horton and Dylan Mitchell helped create that turnover.
Well, they did a good job of getting him open, but Texas really closed well on him and didn't allow him to go up.
So the Longhorns have a chance to get the first bucket of the second half. Into the front court is Tyrese Hunter. Works at I.T. Horton. Coming off a screen. Asmus lofts it in the lane. It's good. And he got it to go down. And Max Asmus on that bucket now moves up to number 10 on the all-time NCAA scoring list as he moves past Kedron Clark of St. Peter's. Number 10 on the all-time scoring list is Max Asmus. Walter has it for Baylor to the right side. Texas up 10, 50-40. Shot rejected. Oh, my goodness. Did they call a foul? Boy, that would be a late call now, just out of bounds. No, it was a foul call. Kip Kissinger giving the indication. Foul call on Dylan DeSue. That's his third.
Whether it was a foul or not, Kip was way out here at the 10-second line. Two officials right there on the ball, and they didn't call it.
Neither one of them called the foul, but now DeSue with three personals. 45 seconds into the second half, the foul call. And now on the line is Jacoby Walter. 84% from the line this year. As we mentioned, he hit 2 in the first half, but he misses the first one here. So now, Caden Shedrick has to check back in for Dylan DeSue. Picked up that third personal. Here's a second one for Jacoby Walter. Texas up 10 at 50-40. Second free throw is short, and the rebound Shedrick. So Walter, 84% from the line, misses both. Texas with the ball up 10, 50-40, opening minute of the second half. Ithiel Horton on the dribble. IT, one dribble, picks it up, flips a pass to the left side to Shedrick. Now to Asmus. Max into the corner. A fadeaway three from Max off the rim. No good. Tip in goes in for Dylan Mitchell.
Just a good job to be around the rim. Very, very good tap in.
Timed it well.
Yes, he did.
Mitchell with 4. Texas up 12 at 52-40. To the right side with it. Ray J. Dennis trying to drive in. Does, and scores off the glass. Dennis with 7, and it's 52-42 Longhorns. Into the front court. On the dribble, Tyrese Hunter. Hunter to Horton into the left corner. Asmus will try the three again. This time it's good. And Max Asmus moves up on the career three-point shooting list as he moves past Travis Bader of Oakland on the all-time list.
Great shooters have quick memory.
Yeah, no doubt. 22 points now for Asmus. Inside will go in the bucket. And Scott Drew calling a timeout right after the bucket was made there. That was put in by Ray J. Dennis. And so Scott Drew will take a timeout. 18:07 remaining in the ball game. The score is Texas 55, Baylor 44. This is the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Hey, son. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, Pops.
What's on your mind?
I can't explain it. Navigating without a compass, eyes waiting, started to wonder. Metamorphosis, loss of who you thought you was.
When your kid can't find the language, help them find the lyrics. Listen to the Sound It Out album and get tips and tools to start a conversation at sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by Ad Council and Pivotal Ventures.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
18:07 to go in the ball game. Texas leading Baylor 55-44. And we mentioned that Max Asmus here in the first 1 minute and 53 seconds of the second half has moved up on two separate scoring lists. One on the all-time Division I career scoring list. He now is number 10 on the all-time list. He has moved past Kedron Clark of St. Peter's as Max is now at 3,059 career points. And in fact, he is at 3,062. So he is 4 points away from passing Harry Kelly from Texas Southern in the early 1980s. Pop gun, they call him, played for his dad, Shotgun Kelly, there in the early 80s at Texas Southern. He's 4 points away from passing him. He's 5 points away from catching Mike Dahm from South Dakota State for number 8 on the all-time list. And Mike Dahm, of course, played his final collegiate game for South Dakota State in the Irwin Center. Texas beat him in the first round of the NIT back in 2019. He's at 3,067 points. Max right now at 3,062. Now, on down the list, at number 7 would be a ways to go. It would be quite a list for him to move on up. Doug McDermott would be next from Creighton. But Max did that, and then he moved up on the career three-point shooting list as he's moved past Travis Bader. We saw him play for Oakland in the NCAA tournament against Texas.
And he could really shoot the ball.
He could. Wow. Now, Asmus is now at 505 made career three-pointers. He's 4 away from the next guy on the list, Fletcher McGee of Wofford, who's number 3 on the list. So he's moved up to 4th place on the all-time three-point shooting list. And Max just continues to climb the charts.
Wow.
It'll be Texas basketball after Scott Drew called the timeout, as the Longhorn lead is 11 at 55-44. Into the front court. Kendall Weaver just checked back in, has it for Texas to Asmus in the left corner, guarded by Jalen Bridges, trying to drive past him, pulls up the lane, ball knocked out of his hands. Picked up by Baylor. Now the Longhorns, like we said, took really good care of the basketball. Only 2 turnovers in the first half. There's a long three by guess who? Wow. Another three-pointer launched and connected by Jalen Bridges. He has 21 points, 6 made threes. The Texas lead down to 8, 55-47. Mitchell out to Weaver. Kendall for the bounce pass to Dylan Mitchell. Trying to back down Jacoby Walter, who flops and picks up his 3rd foul. Well, he definitely tried to draw the contact and picked up his 3rd personal foul. First foul of the second half against the Bears. Texas will inbound on the baseline. So Tyrese Hunter will inbound for the Longhorns. Looking. Still looking. Hunter has to get it inbounds and does to the right side to Mitchell. Back to Tyrese for 3. Off the rim, no good. And the rebound, Jacoby Walter for Baylor. Into the front court for the Bears. Here's Walter on the right side. Drops it now to Dennis. Now works it Meese working inside, lost the dribble. Trying to go up against Caden Shedrick, and it's scooped up by Dylan Mitchell. Into the front court off the Baylor turnover. Max Asmus has it left side. Driving to the hoop. Launches high off the glass and rattles it in. Asmus with 24. Texas back up. And a steal by Tyrese Hunter, and he lays it in. Hunter gets the steal and puts it up, and the Longhorns are up 12, 59-47.
Boy, they're just more active than Baylor right now.
Here's Dennis on the right side with it. Up top to Jalen Bridges. Bridges trying to drive in, and he's fouled. Yep. Dylan Mitchell just couldn't get out of the way. Just kind of stumbled into him. It's his second. And Baylor will inbound on the side. 16:31 to go. Texas up 12 at 59-47.
Well, Dylan was there on the closeout and forced Bridges to drive. And that's all he has to do. He has to know where he is. He stay one step to the ball, to the man, opposed to help side.
Jacoby Walter to inbound for Baylor. Right in front of the Bears bench. Works an inbounds to Ray J. Dennis. He's guarded by Tyrese Hunter. Bounce pass to the left side to Jalen Bridges. Tightly guarded by Dylan Mitchell. Bounce pass. It goes over now. Here's Bridges driving baseline. He got around traffic, slammed it in. They're really making a concerted effort to keep him guarded tightly on the perimeter, and he was able to squeeze through on the baseline.
That's exactly right. So
Texas with the ball, and the lead down to 10 at 59-47. 4 minutes gone by second half. The left side is Max Asmus. Asmus pulls in, lofts it in for Shedrick off the glass, and Caden scores.
Great hands on that one.
10 points for Caden Shedrick. Longhorns back up 12 at 61-49. 15:45 to go. Dennis on the left wing for Baylor. Now up top, out between the circles, and there's going to be a collision. Are they going to get this on Shedrick? On the floor, it's going to be on Caden. So Caden Shedrick stumbling into Bridges, and Caden picks up his second, and it'll be the third foul of the second half against the Longhorns. We have a timeout here with 15:38 remaining in the game. It's Texas 61, Baylor 49 on the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. He sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself.
For many military veteran caregivers, their caregiving journey starts earlier in life and lasts longer. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Stop. That dog does not want to be petted.
A heads up before something bad happens.
You should not send that text.
Uh-oh. Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can reverse prediabetes and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
No one gets you closer to the game than Sirius XM Big 12 Radio. Tune in for news, talk, and analysis from the offseason through regular season and into the postseason. We've got your team covered anywhere you go. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.us/Big 12 Radio 2024. Craig Wayne, Eddie Orrin with you, and want to thank you for tuning in tonight on Sirius XM Satellite Radio, Channel 380 across the country. Longhorn fans and others tuned in. Glad to have you with us. Also, all along the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield, such outstanding radio stations as KKSA, AM 1260 out in the Concho Valley, in San Angelo. Also in Marshall on KMHD, FM 103.9 FM, in Henderson on KWRD, AM 1470, in Carthage on KGAS, AM 1590, FM 104.3 FM. In Houston, Sports Talk 790, KBME, in San Antonio on the ticket, KTKR AM 760, and our flagship stations in Austin, Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone, also 98.1 FM, the home of Austin's all-time country favorites, KVET, that's 98.1 FM, and also 103.1 FM. All of these stations and many, many more. Glad to have you as members of the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield, and for those of you listening online at TexasSports.com, those of you tuned in on the Texas Longhorns app, the Varsity Sports Network app, wherever and however you may be tuned in, glad to have you with us. Longhorns up 12 at 61-49. Texas in the second half is hit 6 of 8 shots. Baylor's made all 4 of its shots in the second half. Bears with an 18-16 edge in rebounding. But the turnovers, 10 for the Bears, 3 for the Longhorns. Texas a 20-4 edge in the points off the giveaways.
Well, that's huge, the 20 points off of 10 turnovers.
Baylor inbounds the ball to Jay Nunn. Up top, Ray J. Dennis. Flips a pass in. Ojamala got free again and slammed it down. Second time that's happened for him. The Texas lead back to 10 at 61-51. Max Asmus on the dribble. Flips it up top to Brock Cunningham, who just checked back in. Cunningham rifles a pass into Asmus, and he lays it in. Max Asmus now at 26 points, moves further up the list. Number 8 on the all-time NCAA scoring list as he has moved past Harry Kelly and Mike Dom. He's 1 point away from Dom for being number 8 by himself. Here is outside to Bridges, and that's going to be a foul on Brock Cunningham. Brock will pick up his first, and that's going to be the 14th foul against the Longhorns. So it'll be inbounded by Baylor. Texas back up 12 at 63-51. Here's inbound the basketball. And it goes inbounded to Ray J. Dennis to the right side. Into the corner, Jacoby Walter to shoot a 3, and it's good. Walter gets his first field goal of the game. Baylor now back within 9 at 63-54, 14:40 to go. Into the front court, Asmus. Pass deflected and knocked into the backcourt. Cunningham picks it back up. Now to Weaver in the front court. He drives in, elevates, off the glass, missed it. Tip-up try, no good. Another tip-up try, and now it's run down by Tyrese Hunter. Hunter to Cunningham, onto the right side with it. Out to Hunter again. Tyrese on the right wing, backs it out with 10 to shoot. Hunter rolls it, top of the arc. Drives to the left side, drives around traffic, missed it. Shedrick, an offensive rebound in his undercut. It'll be a Baylor foul. The foul is going to be, I believe, on Miro Little, who came in and undercut him. And Texas will inbound on the baseline with 14:09 to go. Up by 9 at 63-54. Max Asmus will inbound the basketball. Lobs it in to Caden Shedrick. Up top. Now to Asmus. Backs it out again. Max on the dribble to the right side. Sends it into Shedrick in the paint. Foul going up. Got the bucket in one. So once more, great concentration in as Caden Shedrick gets the bucket and the free throw to come.
Well, he's got great hands in traffic. And once he catches, he keeps the ball up above his shoulders, not allowing him to do anything with it.
Fouls on Ray J. Dennis. That's his third. So here is Shedrick, now with 12 points. Caden has hit 2 free throws earlier. Chance to push that Texas lead back to 12 with 13:59 to go. Free throw is good. Shedrick now with 13 points. The official stop play for substitution. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Live from Waco, you're listening to Texas Longhorns basketball from Learfield. The officials had stopped play. I think there was a clock issue, but it seems to be corrected now. Longhorns will use the opportunity to get I.T. Horton back on the floor now. Substitution as he checks in for Tyrese Hunter. 13 minutes, 59 seconds remaining in the basketball game. Brock Cunningham, meanwhile, may have hurt his hand in a collision. He's checked out now, and they're having him checked out. Baylor with the basketball. Texas up 12, 66-54, 13:50 to go. Ray J. Dennis on the dribble. To the left side, high screen set by Ajanwada. Into the corner, got rid of it, out to Miro Little to shoot a three, and it's good. Little was 0 for 7 in three-pointers in conference play prior to that make. Wow. So Baylor back within 9, 66-57, 13.5 to go. Bears have gone to a 1-3-1 zone. The left side, Kendall Weaver. Weaver to Max Asmus on the right side. Now to Dylan Mitchell up top to Asmus. Max looking, trying to drive past Miro Little. And a right wing jumper, good from the right elbow for Asmus. Max Asmus now 28 points as he moves into 8th place on the all-time NCAA scoring list.
Well, Baylor is just matching buckets. They're not stopping Texas, and Texas doing a good job of getting open looks.
11-point Texas lead, 13 minutes to go. Little inside, and that one's put in by Ajanwada. He has 8 points. The Texas lead is 9, 68-59. Asmus to Weaver on the left side. Now swings it back to Max Asmus on the right wing. He'll fire an NBA range three. No good off the rim. Rebound, Ajanwada has it for Baylor. Into the front court for the Bears. Ray J. Dennis onto the right side with it. Trying to drive into the paint on Asmus. Dumps it underneath Ajanwada. He has 10, and Rodney Terry's going to call a timeout with 12:21 to go, so it'll trigger the full timeout here. 12:21 to go. The Texas lead down to 7. It's Texas 68, Baylor 61. Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it. You may find yourself in some pretty remote places.
That view is amazing.
Or in places where pastimes become stories that become legends.
I got one. It's a keeper.
And each day ends watching a star-filled sky.
Whoa.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra. Another Texas-born beast. Toyota is a proud corporate sponsor of Texas Athletics. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
With so many distractions in life, are you finding it hard to focus on the present, constantly looking down instead of looking up, feverishly trying to capture the moment instead of taking it in? Feel Free Tonic by Botanic Tonics can help. The calm, relaxing effects of kava root, coupled with naturally caffeinated cola nut, lion's mane mushroom, and rhodiola, make for the perfect balanced boost to help keep you in the now. Discover the magic of kava with Feel Free Tonic. Texas fans can save $40 on their first order with code BEVO40. That's code BEVO40 at botanictonics.com.
Longhorns maintaining the lead over number 11 Baylor in Waco, 68-61 with 12:21 to go in the second half. Dave Pulaski back inside the Learfield Network studios. Time now for your WinStar World Resort Studio Report. In the top 25, number 9 Duke handles NC State 79-64. The Blue Devils within a half game of first place in the ACC, chasing North Carolina. They host the Tar Heels on Saturday in the regular season finale. Meanwhile, in the Big 12, a couple of games going on tomorrow that are of interest. Texas Tech on the road at Oklahoma State. Red Raiders part of a three-way tie for fourth place with BYU and Kansas. Texas trying to remain within striking distance of that potential double bye and quarterfinal spot in the Big 12 tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. Number 14, Kansas hosting Kansas State, also part of that three-way tie. They've won 39 straight senior nights going back to 1983-84. BYU is the third team in that triumvirate. Number 20 BYU on the road at number 6 Iowa State, taking on a Cyclones team that's undefeated at home this season. So as we send it back to Waco with Craig Way and Eddie Orrin, if they can get this win over Baylor, guys, the opportunity is there for the taking.
Yeah, it would be something else. No doubt it would be the biggest win of the season for Texas. They already have 2 road wins over ranked opponents. This would be the biggest one, no question about it. Thank you, Dave. Here in the second half, Baylor has hit all 9 of its shots, shooting 100%, so they're up to 54% from the floor. Longhorns are 9 of 13. So they've hit the same amount. They've just taken 4 more than Baylor, but they're 3 for 3 are the Bears from three-point range in the second half. The Longhorns 1 of 4 beyond the arc. Texas shooting 61% overall. Baylor a 19-17 edge on the boards, and the turnovers again. 10 for the Bears, 3 for the Horns, a 20-4 edge. And the points off the turnovers favor to Texas. Points in the paint are even at 20.
Well, they've hit every shot they've taken this half and only outscored Texas by 1. That just shows you Texas' offense and the fact that Baylor's defense is really struggling to try to get any type of stops on Texas.
It'll be inbounded to Tyrese Hunter. And he'll bring it into the front court. Off to Max Asmus. Back to Hunter to Asmus on the left side. Baylor has alternated between man and zone. To the right side is Hunter. Backs it out. Tyrese again to Asmus. Tried to dribble, penetrate against the zone. 10 to shoot. He goes to Dylan DeSue. Just check back in. Right side turns with a jumper that's short. Rebound Baylor. Ray J. Dennis has it. And into the front court is Dennis. To the left side. Guarded by DeSue on the switch. Cross-court pass. Ramiro Little going to try that 3 again. Missed that one. But rebound Jalen Bridges for the Bears. Now outside Ray J. Dennis on the left wing with it. Up top, trying to drive in down the lane, and DeSue blocked the shot. Little got it back. Then O'John would have picked it out to Bridges for a 3. No good. Rebound tip loose. Baylor gets it again. Now Dennis on the right side. Wow. A 4th opportunity now for the Bears. Here's Dennis trying to drive on Hunter. Puts it up, and he drew contact and is fouled. Just went hard against him.
Yeah, Baylor's done a good job getting to the free throw line. And this is another example of just driving and drawing the foul.
11:21 to go. And it's Dennis on the line. He's hit 1 free throw tonight. That to finish an old-fashioned 3-point play. 71% from the line for Dennis this season. 70% in conference play. And I'm not sure what the delay.
Well, they got a cut.
A cut for Ray J. Dennis. That's what it is. Trying to stem that off before he walks to the free throw line as Dennis went down the lane and went up. I didn't see anything.
I never saw it.
Maybe went right then when it came back down trying to get to the loose ball. But officials aren't even going to the monitor looking at anything. But it's going to be Ray J. Dennis on the line for 2 free throws here with 11:21 to go in the game.
Well, Baylor's crowd is slowly getting back into this game. I think you're going to have a crowd in the game the rest of the way. This Texas team has had a lot of poise on the road.
Well, this would be the closest the Bears would have been since it was 6-1 if he makes both free throws, and that was 1 minute and 44 seconds into the game. They haven't even been closer than 6 points. They have a chance to be within 5 if Dennis converts both free throws. First of 2 for Ray J. Dennis, and it's good. So he'll have 1 more. 11:21 to go. Here's a second one for Ray J. Dennis, and this one is no good, and the rebound Dylan DeSue. So the Longhorns have the ball up 6, 68-62. Here in Waco, 11:11 to go. Weaver on the left side to DeSue. Now off to Max Asmus. Sends it to Dylan Mitchell. Mitchell trying to drive in, dumps the ball. Back out front, 10 to shoot to Tyrese Hunter. Goes to the right side with it. And a pass broken up by Baylor. Intended for Weaver. DeSue hits the deck. Pass broken up. And the Longhorns have it. Now into the front court. Now they're going to stop everything because DeSue is still on the floor. And he is grasping his left knee. And definitely is in some pain. That's just a scary moment right now. Dylan was a game-time decision because of the stomach virus. But right now, Warren Young, team trainer out there, along with Rodney Terry, and they're talking to Dylan. He's trying to flex that knee, but clearly is in some pain. After Baylor got the turnover on the collision, DeSue hit the deck. And then after that, they're going to help him to his feet. It's a good sign there, but he's unable to put any pressure on. He's going to have to go to the bench now. The Longhorns, they have to do this the rest of the way without him, and you just hope it's not any more serious than enough to knock him out of the game right now. It's been a tough day for Dylan DeSue. They're going to take him straight to the locker room. The Longhorns probably going to have to do without Dylan the rest of the ball game. 10:50 to go. Longhorns will inbound up 6 at 68-62. Caden Shedrick will be on the floor out there. We went and taken a look at it. I don't know if he stumbled or got tripped or whatever it was, but when he hit the deck,
it looked like it might have gave out on him because there's no contact.
Longhorns will inbound into the backcourt. It's Asmus. Now to Weaver. Sends it back onto the right side to Tyrese Hunter. Hunter dribbling on the right wing. Sends a pass in. Dylan Mitchell on the baseline. Drives in, goes reverse side. Had it partially blocked, however, and Baylor comes away with it. Into the front court, Ray J. Dennis trying to drive on Asmus. Launches and banks it in. The lead is down to 4. This is as close as Baylor has been since the opening moments. 68-64. 10:15 to go. Driving, pulling up at the free throw line. Jumper, no good for Tyrese Hunter, and the Longhorns now have gone cold. Here's Baylor, cross-court pass. Dennis trying to work his way around, and he lost the ball out of bounds. Last touch by Texas. I.T. Horton and Brock Cunningham will check back in for the Longhorns as we hit the midway mark of the second half with Texas up 4, 68-64.
Well, I didn't think we tipped that ball out of bounds. I thought he spin, a curl, and a step to the bucket, but they saw it different.
Bears will inbound on the baseline. It'll be Ray J. Dennis to inbound it with 10:02 to go. Dennis looking for a target. Still looking. Has to lob it out front to Jalen Bridges. Cunningham guarding him. Bridges to Miro Little. Between the circles against Max Asmus. Little to the right side with it, trying to go around Shedrick, and then he lost the dribble, and it's scooped up by Asmus. Turnover there for Baylor. 68-64 Longhorns, 9:43 to go. Here's Asmus against Ray J. Dennis. Across the floor with a pass. Works to the Tyrese Hunter. Hunter dribbles toward down the lane. Goes down the lane, dumps it underneath. Shot rejected as Shedrick had it blocked. Rodney Terry wanted a foul call. It was not called. Baylor has it. To the left side is Ray J. Dennis. 9:20 to go in the game, with Texas up 4. Over the left side, Bridges shot fake on the 3, and Cunningham fouls him. 16 foul against Texas. Second one on Brock. Bears will inbound on the side with 9:17 to go. Meanwhile, Dennis looks shaken up off the collision. And Bridges is up and moving, if slowly. But John Wood checks out for the Bears. E. Meese is back on for Baylor. Bridges still grimacing, but he's ready to go. Tony Chiazza telling Rodney Terry, I did not see a foul on that shot block when Shedrick got. There was hand on the ball. What Rodney wanted was the body contact from behind, and that went uncalled. So Baylor inbounds. Inbounded to Meese. To left side, Jacoby Walter goes around traffic. Down the lane. Had it rejected, but a foul call. And Kip Kissinger said it happened with the body. It's on Cunningham, and that's Brock's third, and it's going to be 2 free throws to come. And Rodney says, why didn't you call it that way the other way? And it's going to be 2 free throws as Walter went down there.
Well, he missed his first 2, didn't he?
Yeah. So he hit 2 in the first half, but he missed those first 2 here in the second half, and he has 2 more here. First one for Walter is good. So he has 1 more coming. This is as close as Baylor has been since it was 3-0. Second one. It's good. 2-point game. Texas up 68-66. Baylor on a 9-0 run right now in the last 3 minutes and 42 seconds. To the left side, Cunningham. A dribble, works it out front. Hunter, a 3. No good off the rim. Deep rebound, run down in the corner and saved to Brock Cunningham. And then he has to save it in and went out of bounds. Wow. The Longhorns scoring drought now in excess of 4.5 minutes. And Baylor has a chance to tie or take its first lead of the ball game with 8:53 to go.
Well, Rodney's letting them play it out, which I agree with him.
Texas has 2 timeouts left, as does Baylor. We're under a minute away from an official timeout. Bridges works it out now to Jaden Nunn. Up top to Ray J. Dennis. Swings it left side to Jalen Bridges again. Bridges backing out the dribble near midcourt. On the dribble. Still working it, trying to drive on Caden Shedrick. Pushed off with him, but they get a foul on Shedrick? They called a foul on Shedrick, and it was a push-off there, and it's going to be a 1-and-1 as Caden picks up his third. So now, it's going to be Bridges on the line for a 1-and-1, and Bridges is 3 out of 4 from the foul line. The Bears are 16 for 21. Front end of the 1-and-1 for Jalen Bridges is no good. Rebound, I.T. Horton. That was big. Now, Longhorns trying to snap a scoring drought that's closing in on 5 minutes. They lead 68-66. Pass to the left side to Tyrese Hunter. Looking into the paint to Brock Cunningham. Top of the arc. Back to Hunter. Tightly guarded by Jacoby Walden. Backs out the dribble with 10 on the shot clock. To the right side to Max Asmus. Asmus working against Ray J. Dennis. Right side, 5 to shoot. Long 3. No good. Rebound loose on the floor. Baylor comes away with it. Into the front court. Bridges is down on the floor, and they're going to get a blocking foul called on Asmus. The foul on Max will be his first, and there'll be a 1-and-1 coming after the official timeout. 7:59 to play in the ball game. It's Texas 68, Baylor 66. Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
Longhorn fans, turn up the heat this season with Hattie B's Hot Chicken. Hattie B's was born in Nashville but is breaded and served in Deep Ellum in Dallas and coming soon to Austin. A family-run restaurant serving up all your southern favorites. Hand-breaded fried chicken spiced right to your level. Hot or not, you choose. Throw in some southern greens, pimento mac and cheese, bacon cheese grits, and top it off with some banana pudding or peach cobbler. Download the app to stack rewards and learn about exclusive Hattie B's promotions. And check us out at HattieB.com.
Spots and bars. Or pamper yourself in the new multi-story WinStar Spa. WinStar is the place to get the star treatment you deserve.
Jeff, I'm standing courtside where this team is about to celebrate a staggering win here in the fourth quarter. I just spoke with the team captain, who told me they owe it all to Kohl's, where fans found the license gear, game day hosting fines, and other essentials they needed to rally this team to victory. He said, quote, "Great brands, great prices. Discover it all at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Back to you."
SeatGeek is now the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Texas Longhorns. Whether you're buying or selling tickets, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek, so Longhorn fans can fan. Now there's Longhorn baseball this week. Texas A&M at home tomorrow night. Then Baylor coming up in the Big 12 Conference Series March 22nd through the 24th, and BYU first weekend in April on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, April 4th through the 6th. Texas softball hosts BYU coming up mid-March, and then Oklahoma, the number 1 team in the country, in early April. And at the Bass Concert Hall, Yo-Yo Ma appearing this week on March the 7th on Thursday night. Tim Robinson's I Think You Should Leave is on April 17th. The Glenn Miller Orchestra on April 21st, and the Decemberists on May 15th. The Texas lead down to 2, and Baylor can tie with a pair of free throws coming up here. And 7:59 to go. The Longhorns have never trailed. Baylor, after Texas hit the first 2 shots to open the ballgame, 2 3-pointers by Tyrese Hunter, Baylor hasn't caught the Longhorns. They have a chance to do that. Texas in the second half, 9 of 19. They've missed their last 7 shots and have only hit 2 of their last 10. Baylor on a 9-0 run over the last 5 minutes, and the Longhorns have gone 5 minutes and 16 seconds without scoring. And Texas had its most recent lead, did the Longhorns, at 68-57 with 13:15 to go on a Max Asmus jumper. They've not scored since. So here's Ray J. Dennis on the line, shooting 2. Dennis hit 1 out of 2 his last time. Shooting 2. And the first one for the senior transfer is up. It's a 1-and-1 actually, but he hits the front end, so he'll get the bonus now with a chance to tie it. 7:59 left. So Dennis, the second one, as Foster Pavilion grows quiet. Now the back end, the bonus of the 1-and-1 for Ray J. Dennis. It's good. First time this game has been tied since the tip-off at 0-0. Dennis with 9 second-half points, 14 in the ballgame. And the game is tied at 68. Asmus out to Hunter, out between the circles. Works a dribble to the left side. Tyrese at the top of the arc. Longhorns now gone 5.5 minutes without a score. To the right side with 10 on the shot clock. Here's Asmus drives, pull-up jumper right side, no good. IT Horton fouled from behind. Now, on Baylor, it's only the 14th foul, but it was called a shooting foul. So Horton will go to the line for 2 free throws. IT, 71% from the line this year, 82% in conference play, and he's 2 for 2 tonight. That was back in the first half.
Well, Texas has done a good job of not fouling. The guys, they're playing guys with 2 and 3 fouls, doing a good job of maintaining.
Here's Horton. First of 2 for IT is good, and the Longhorns are back in front. So he'll have one more. Second one for IT Horton. This one on the way. It's short, and the rebound to Baylor. Texas 69, Baylor 68. 7.5 minutes to go. Into the front court is Ray J. Dennis. Working the dribble against Tyrese Hunter. Draws a high screen from E. Meesey. Out to Jalen Bridges, trying to drive in. They're going to get Brock Cunningham for a foul. He just couldn't get out of the way, and he collided with Jalen Bridges. It's going to be it's a 2-shot foul. Yeah, that's the 10th team foul. And on Cunningham, that's the 4th. So here's Bridges on the line. He's 3 out of 5 from the line tonight. Baylor is hit 18 out of 24.
He may be too close. The way he's shooting a 3.
He's hit 3 free throws, but he's missed 2. He'll have 2 here. First one is no good. It's off the rim for Bridges. He'll have one more. Brock Cunningham checks out after picking up that 4th foul. Dylan Mitchell back on. Here's a second free throw for Jalen Bridges. And this one is good. Bridges makes 1 out of 2. He's got 24 points. The game is tied at 69. 7:20 to go. Into the front court, Tyrese Hunter. Picks up the dribble. Now out to Max Asmus. Top of the arc. Asmus sends it to Mitchell down the lane. Drives in, goes to traffic, is fouled. Where Dylan has struggled, however, has been the free throw line. They're going to need him to make free throws. That foul is on E. Meesey, his second. So here's Mitchell on the line to shoot 2. Trying to put Texas back in front with 7:07 to go. So here's Dylan shooting 2. First one for Mitchell, barely hit the front of the rim. No good.
Well, he's got to make this one or they can't play him in a game like this tight.
Second one now for Mitchell. Trying to put Texas back in front. Second free throw is good. Mitchell with 5. Texas leads it 70-69. 7:05 to go. Ray J. Dennis on the dribble. Works it in to Jacoby Walter up top now. Swings a pass, and it's Jaden Nunn who has it on the left side. Nunn trying to drive in into the paint. Goes up in traffic, missed it, and he's fouled. Oh, boy. Longhorns just keep putting him on the line. That foul is on Caden Shedrick, who now has 4. And with Dylan DeSue out, Longhorns going to be shorthanded in the middle, and here's Nunn on the line with a chance to give Baylor its first lead of the night if he hits both. He's hit 69% from the line this year, 64% in conference play. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Both of those were in the first half. So Jaden Nunn to shoot 2 here. So here comes the first one. It's good.
And, if they keep him in the game, they're going to go right at him. So you got to be smart.
Second one for Nunn. And this one for Nunn is good. Baylor has its first lead of the night with 6:50 to go 71-70. 6:45 to go. Out to Hunter. Tyrese holds it top of the arc. Bounce pass goes to Caden Shedrick. Back it goes to Hunter to win the backcourt. It's going to be a backcourt violation. And Baylor's going to have it with 6:32 to go. Bad time for a turnover.
No doubt. Keep your head up, guys.
Word coming in, Dylan DeSue with a sprained left knee is what we're hearing, and he's out for the rest of the game. What that means going forward, we'll find out, but he's definitely out for the rest of this game. Baylor will inbound with 6:32 left, leading Texas by a point, 71-70. It's the first lead of the night for the Bears. Longhorns are led by as many as 14. Outside, long three. That's good. Knocked down by Jacoby Walter. Walter with 10, and it is Baylor up by 4, 74-70. To Cunningham. He'll shoot from the foul line. Missed it. Rebound Baylor. Longhorns have not had a field goal in more than 7 minutes. Dennis with it, top of the arc. Lobbing it in. And missed the slam on the lob slam and the rebound. Horton for Texas. Into the front court. Hunter almost had it stolen. Has it outside. IT. Bounce pass to the baseline to Cunningham. He'll shoot from there. It was blocked. Longhorns can't get anything though. 5:45 to go. 74-70 Baylor. On the dribble is Ray J. Dennis. And they're going to get a foul on Cunningham. Wow. Colliding with Walter. And Brock is fouled out of the ball game.
They're going to look at it.
I guess they are. Yeah. In the meantime, Brock Cunningham is definitely fouled out of the ball game. So they'll look at it, but Baylor is done. Baylor will have 2 free throws coming up at least. Caden Shedrick will have to check back in as this one is slipping away now. That's 74-70. Longhorns still right there, but they got to get something to go. They've gone 7 minutes and 40 seconds without a field goal. They've not scored a field goal since the 13-minute mark.
So are they looking at Brock's foul as a flagrant?
Yeah.
Wow, that's not even close.
So they'll take a look at it.
If anything, this is good to give Texas a little time.
Yep.
Like a free timeout.
Yep. Keep Rodney from having to use one of his 2 remaining timeouts.
Exactly.
And looking at it again, Cunningham, he just ran into him. I mean, as he ran in, that's not a flagrant. He just ran into
him. He kept his arm into his body.
I think they're just going to call it a common foul. They'll look at it one more time. He went right in there into him. It's just a collision. It should be just a common foul, but it will be 2 free throws to come. Common foul is what Terry Oglesby just said. But it's the 5th on Brock Cunningham. Well, the crowd just roared. Did they change the call to a flagrant 1?
That's ridiculous.
Cunningham can't believe it. Rodney Terry can't believe it. Baylor's going to get 2 shots on the ball, up 4.
Anybody but Brock Cunningham would not have got that. They're looking at him. They've watched him. I think that's going on the whole season.
So, Jacoby Walter shoots 2 free throws with nobody on the line now. First one for Walter is good. Here's the second one coming for Waller. That one's good. And now Baylor gets the basketball up 6, 76-70. This is a 19-2 run for the Bears over the last 7 minutes and 19 seconds. Longhorns have missed their last 10 shots from the floor. So Baylor will inbound the ball with 5:35 to go. Longhorns need to get some stops and hit some shots, but first they've got to get stops. Baylor to inbound to Walter in the right corner. Swings it out front to Misi. Now around to the right wing, Ray J. Dennis on the dribble. Caden Shedrick having to play with 4 fouls. Dennis, fadeaway right side, and it rattles in. It's all working now for Baylor. They're up 8. A 9-0 run. Extrapolated out to 21-2. 78-70 Baylor. 5:05 to go. Outside. Tyrese Hunter. Three-pointer short. Rebound Baylor. Nothing's falling, and the Longhorns are only getting one shot and out right now. So none with it for the Bears. And he has it. Stations, we know we owe you an identification. We'll get to that momentarily. Here's Nunn. Has it out between the circles to the right side. Trying to drive it on Max Asmus. 8 on the shot clock. Out front. Jalen Bridges against Kendall Weaver. Drives in the paint. Squares up. Shoots. Missed it. Rebound. That's going to be an over-the-back foul against Misi. It's only going to be the 16th foul against Baylor. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Texas Longhorn basketball from Learfield. Pregame, Eddie Orrin with you from Waco as Texas trails Baylor 78-70. Long three. Max Asmus, he's fouled, shooting the three. He'll get 3 free throws. The foul will be on Ray J. Dennis, his 4th. Longhorns have given up 9 straight points and a 21-2 run for Baylor overall over the last 8.5 minutes. Longhorns have only hit 2 of their last 14. But here's Max Asmus shooting 3, and the first one is good for Asmus. 91% from the foul line this year, both overall and Big 12 play. Second one for Max. It's good. 30 points for Max, with 1 more to come. Third one for Asmus, and that's good. 31. Zarek Onyema will check in for the first time for Texas. 6'8", 235-pound junior transfer out of John Jay High in San Antonio. Transferred in from UTEP, averaging 3.5 points, 2.5 rebounds. To preserve some time for Shedrick, who has 4 fouls.
No doubt about it. Play the substitution game.
78-73. Baylor up 5. 4:20 to go. Longhorns bring some pressure in back court. Into the front court is Nunn. On the right wing with it. Nunn trying to drive in and almost lost the dribble. Got it back. Out front now to Ray J. Dennis. Dennis at the top of the arc. To the right wing with it. Spins to the left side trying to drive in past Onyema. Turns in the paint. Misi, a jump hook good. His first field goal of the second half. 80-73. Baylor the lead. Under 4 minutes to go. Into the front court is Asmus. To the right side. Now back between the circles. Works it to Tyrese Hunter. Back to Max Asmus. On the left wing to Kendall Weaver. 10 on the shot clock for Texas. Here's Asmus driving. Left side pulls up and banks it high off the glass for 2. And Rodney Terry's going to call a timeout. Asmus with 33. It'll take it to the full timeout with 3:32 remaining in the game. It's Baylor 80, Texas 75. Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Spins with a drop step, win reverse side and scored. What a pretty move.
Want to get in on the action at Moody Center? Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is proud to offer its members 2 free tickets to select Longhorns men's or women's basketball home games this season. Visit texassports.com/Texas Farm Bureau for complete details on how members can request tickets. That's texassports.com/Texas Farm Bureau for your free tickets to see the Horns on their home court. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.
Fly to Philly, take off to Tampa, depart for Denver. Following your team on the road is more rewarding with the American Airlines Advantage program. Your flights and everyday spend not only earn you miles towards your next trip, but also loyalty points toward Advantage status. All the more reason to purchase both a home and away jersey. With status comes great benefits like priority boarding, free checked bags, and complimentary upgrades. Not a member? Enroll for free today at AA.com. American Airlines, you are why we fly. Terms and conditions apply.
3:32 remaining in the basketball game. Texas trailing Baylor by 5, 80-75. Rodney Terry using a timeout. He has one timeout remaining. Well, we mentioned the Longhorns, that long scoring drought, and only having made one of their last 12 shots from the floor. That was Max Asmus, high banker. That gives him 33 points. And Asmus, that's a Texas career high for him. It surpasses the 32 he had against West Virginia in that loss in Morgantown. He has 33 points on 13 of 19 shooting, 4 of 9 from three-point range. And now the Longhorns are going to be in need of stops. Dylan DeSue, in case you missed it, was a game-time decision because of a stomach virus. He played, but in the second half went to the floor with a sprained knee, is out for the rest of the game. Now, he has returned to the huddle. He's gone in there, but we've been told he will not return to the game as he is listening to the huddle. So Dylan is back out there. But, Eddie, the Longhorns are going to need stops. There's still time. It's 3:32 to go, and it's a 5-point game. But you got to get stops.
Yeah, get
without
stops.
Fouling.
Exactly. Baylor's shooting the ball extremely well, but probably the biggest difference this half is the difference in the rebounding. I think it's about 9 difference in the half. I think we were up 2 at halftime.
And Baylor is now up 11 at 32-21. In the second half, Baylor shooting 72% from the floor. 52% of our Longhorns are at level 50% shooting, 40% from three-point range, 81% from the foul line. But Baylor's hot shooting in the second half and the rebounding has turned this game around in the free throw shooting. The Bears are 23 of 30 from the foul line. Longhorns 13 of 16.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Texas lineup on the floor: Tyrese Hunter, Max Asmus, Kendall Weaver, Zarek Onyema, and Dylan Mitchell. For Baylor, it is Ray J. Dennis, Jay Nunn, Jacoby Walter, Jalen Bridges, and E. Beasy, their original starting 5. 3:32 to go. Baylor up 5 at 80-75. A little bit of pressure in backcourt. Beasy has it, and then they trap Walter, and now he'll race into the front court. Jacoby Walter on the right side works it out to Ray J. Dennis. Dennis flips it to Walter, looking inside, and he got the Bridges as Weaver played in front of him, and Bridges got around him to lay it in.
Yeah, he took that one dribble, got an angle.
Baylor up 7, 82-75. Asmus, right wing with it. Sends a pass to Dylan Mitchell. Back to Max. Long range 3. No good off the rim. And they're not falling here in the second half now. And Baylor with a rebound. Under 3 to go. It's 82-75. Dennis out between the circles. Scott Drew wanting his team to run a little more clock now. Ray J. Dennis. And they're going to get a foul on Zarek Onyema, who collided with Jacoby Walter. It's not what Rodney Terry wanted. I.T. Horton will check back in as Onyema picks up his first, but that's going to send Walter back to the free throw line, where he is 6 out of 8 from the line.
Making his last 6.
Yep. And he has been tough enough. So Onyema checks out. And let's see who's checking back in. Is it going to be Shedrick or Horton? They'll wait until after the first free throw. Onyema has to wait till after the first free throw to come out. So Walter to shoot 2. First one, no good. It rattled out. Now Caden Shedrick, I.T. Horton will report back in for Texas. Zarek Onyema checks out, as does Kendall Weaver. Second one for Jacoby Walter. And this one is good. Baylor up 8 with 2:44 to go. It's 83-75. Bringing it into the front court. Max Asmus to the left side. Tyrese Hunter swings it back to Asmus. Fires a pass in. There's a holding foul on Messi, and the Longhorns are going to have a 1-and-1. He was grabbing Shedrick inside. Got to make the free throws now in the bonus.
Exactly. You make your free throws. It allows you to set up your press if that's what you want to do.
So Caden Shedrick on the line, where tonight he has hit all 3 of his free throws. This is a 1-and-1. Front end of the 1-and-1 is no good. Out. Boy, that's a killer. It rattled out after he hit 3 for 3, but the front end of the 1-and-1 rattled out. And now Baylor with the ball up 8 and 2:22 left. Bears taking their time. There's a chance to get it down to 6, but now the Longhorns absolutely have to have a stop. To the right side with it. Dennis rifles a pass, across the floor. Jalen Bridges trying to drive in now into the paint, and there's a foul on the floor. Doesn't matter, it's going to be 2 free throws anyway. The foul is on Dylan Mitchell, his third. And so Bridges on the line to shoot 2. As this one is slipping away with 2:08 to go. And what a whale of a game the Longhorns played for 3/4 of it. But down in the last 10 minutes is when it is slipped away as Bridges hits the first. He'll have one more. Luke John went back on the floor for Baylor, replacing Meesing. Second one good. Baylor's largest lead, up 10. 85-75, 2:08 to go. Naismith into the front court to Tyrese Hunter. Longhorns in need of points in a hurry. Tyrese backing out the dribble. 2 minutes to go. Naismith trying to drive in. Spins, turns, fadeaway jumper. No good. Rebound Baylor.
Boy, just
can't get him to go.
Can't
down the stretch.
Go is exactly right.
Baylor with the ball, 1:45 to go, and the Longhorns' chances for a huge road win slipping away now. Bridges, ball knocked out of his hands, out of bounds by Horton with 11 to shoot, 1:35 on the game clock. Texas led by as many as 12 in the second half. They were up 8 at the half. But that scoring drought in the second half, the big difference, the loss of Dylan DeSuta injury, and Baylor getting red hot. All of it combined, all the fouls. Baylor converting from the foul line. 9 to shoot, inbounded. Dennis, left side, another foul. This one on Horton. Where Jacoby Walter has hit the deck more times tonight, and that foul is going to be on I.T. Horton. That's his fourth. 1:29 left, and Baylor ready to capitalize again from the free throw line, where they are 26 out of 34.
That's been a big difference.
Yeah, and shooting 77% from the line tonight. And that's helped them widen the gap here as Walter's first free throw is good. Walter had only 2 points on the pair of free throws in the first half. He has 12 points here in the second half. Most of those from the foul line. Second one is also good.
Well, and he played the whole half without making committing that third or fourth foul.
1:25 to go. Texas down 12. Hunter to the right side. Long range three. No good. Shedrick fouled over the back trying to get a tip up. That was going to be on Bridges. And that's his first. So Shedrick will go to the line to shoot 2. Actually, it's another 1-and-1. I think, unless they called it a shooting foul. I thought they called that on the rebound. So, what did Terry Oglesby call? That's asking Tony Chiazzi. Is it a 1-and-1 or shooting? It's a 1-and-1. So, here's Shedrick, who missed the front end of a 1-and-1 a moment ago. That's a 1-and-1 here. Front end is good.
Hey, Coach, we want John. Bring in John. Coach John.
Second one. And that's short. The rebound Baylor. 87-76. Bears have it. 1:11 to go. Walter into the front court for Baylor. Off to A.J. Dennis. Baylor content to run some clock now and get prepared to win game number 22. We go 11-6 in the conference. Longhorns will fall back below 500 in the league at 8-9. 6 on the shot clock. Ball knocked away. Longhorns with a steal. Here is Hunter, and he had it knocked out of his hands. Got it back. Went up, and he's fouled by Dennis, who's fouled out of the ball game now with 47 seconds to go. So, A.J. Dennis fouls out. And on the line will be Tyrese Hunter. Hunter's first trip to the line tonight, 66% overall, but only 48% in conference play. Tyrese will shoot 2 here with 47.5 to go. Max Asmus has done what a ball game he played tonight. We'll take him out now. And Asmus with 33 points, a Longhorn career high. And Weaver replaces him on the floor. Tyrese Hunter shooting 2. First one, good. He'll have one more. Final game of the regular season Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock at Moody Center. Will be on the air at 12:30. Texas OU. Second one, good. And Rodney Terry uses his final timeout here with 47.5 to go, and the Longhorns down 11 at 87-78. Well, when this one is examined, looking back over it, it'll be the proliferation of fouls, the loss of Dessou, and Baylor getting hot shooting and hitting free throws. All of that adding up to them turning around a 12-point deficit into a double-digit lead here and headed for a double-digit victory.
There's no doubt about it. Plus, they cashed in, 23 points on the free throw line. But, yeah, you're exactly right.
A big part of it. So, Longhorns will still have a chance to finish at 500 in conference play in the nation's toughest conference when they play at home against Oklahoma on Saturday at 1 o'clock. And then it's going to be about getting ready for the Big 12 Conference Tournament. And we don't know yet, obviously, about the status of Dylan Dessou, whether it be for Saturday. Sprained knee is what we were told. Now, he did return to the floor and walked out there on his own power, but don't know if he'll be available for Saturday against OU.
He has a chance. It's not the worst case scenario. I mean, at least he's coming back out tells you that, it's a day-to-day.
Yeah, it may only be a mild sprain. But in any event, they lost him for the rest of this game. And now, 47.5 to go. Baylor will inbound.
Only he'll have 4 days before the next actual game. 4 practices he can possibly get in.
Going to get some time off, some rest, and some practice before the Sooners come to town. So Baylor inbounds the ball on the baseline. 47.5 to go. Full court pressure. Miro Little inbounds to Jalen Bridges. They trap him in the corner and foul him. Rodney Terry did not want to foul. He just wanted him to trap. But the foul happened. And now Bridges will go back to the line one more time with 45 seconds left. So, Jalen Bridges tonight is 6 of 9 on the foul line, 6 of 7 from three-point range. Bears have hit 28 out of 36 from the line. They get 29 out of 37. 29 points for Jalen Bridges. Second one for Bridges is good. 30 points for Bridges. Texas down 11. 40 seconds to go. Hunter driving through traffic, lays it off the glass for 2. Tyrese at 12 points. It's 89-80. Inbounded to Bridges again. They trap him, and a foul call. And I think Horton just fouled out of the game. If it's on IT, it is his 5th. So IT is fouled out of the ball game. And 36.3 to go. It's 89-80. Horton fouls out with 8 points. And once more, Bridges will go to the line. Baylor is 30 of 38 from the foul line. Chris Johnson will check in for the first time, the 6'5", 180-pound freshman from the greater Houston area. Started off at Fort Bend Elkins and finished at Montverde Academy. So he'll replace him on the floor. Now here's Bridges shooting 2. And the first one is good. Got one more. 90-80 Baylor. Second one, good. Jonathan Chachua replaces O'Jonah on the floor. And the applause is for Chachua checking in, who's been here a long time. He's a senior in his final game. Here's Johnson. Chris Johnson drives in off the glass, and he scores. Chris Johnson gets the bucket. 91-82 Baylor. Inbound. Bridges has it. Down to 23 seconds left. Into the front court. Ball knocked loose. They're going to get a foul. I think that might be on Weaver.
I think so.
That would be his third. And 2 free throws to come with 19.6 to go. Baylor's 32 out of 40 from the line tonight. They have basically taken twice as many free. They will have by the end of these two. And at the moment, they've made twice as many as Texas. Here's Nunn, who is 4 for 4 from the line tonight. First one for Nunn is good.
Yeah,
they'll get Austin Sachs on the floor, a senior walk-on from Encino, California, who had transferred in from Santa Clara. Caleb Lohner checks in. Jacoby Walter is done for the Bears. And Miro Little checks out. Actually, he stays in. Jalen Bridges is done. Here's the second free throw for Nunn with 19.6 seconds to go. This one for Jaden is good. 93-82, 19.6 to go. Into the front court. And here is Tyrese Hunter has it. Bounce pass in the corner. Weaver to shoot a 3, and it's good. Kendall knocks down his second three-pointer in as many days, in many games. But Baylor's going to run out the clock here. They're going to win it by 8. Final score here tonight in Waco. The Baylor Bears 93. The Texas Longhorns 85. We'll have tonight's Bud Light postgame show up next when Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At St. David's Healthcare, we talk a lot about being the best. It's not just talk. We show it through innovation, hard work, heart, and of course, victories. St. David's Healthcare is proud to be an official healthcare provider of Texas Athletics. And as UT Athletic Director Chris Del Conte would say,
the best is here, and together we are changing the world. Hook 'em.
It takes hard work to be the best in the game. Planning, commitment, resilience, sweat. That's why Old Dominion Freight Line, the #1 national LTL carrier for quality, works hard to be the best in the game and is proud to support those striving to be the best in theirs. Old Dominion Freight Line, official freight carrier of Texas Athletics, helping the world keep promises.
With so many distractions in life, are you finding it hard to focus on the present, constantly looking down instead of looking up, feverishly trying to capture the moment instead of taking it in? Feel Free Tonic by Botanic Tonics can help. The calm, relaxing effects of kava root, coupled with naturally caffeinated cola nut, lion's mane mushroom, and rhodiola, make for the perfect balance boost to help keep you in the now. Discover the magic of kava with Feel Free Tonic. Texas fans can save $40 on their first order with code BEVO40. That's code BEVO40 at botanictonics.com.
Longhorn basketball is brought to you by St. David's, an official healthcare provider of Texas Athletics. SeatGeek, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Texas Longhorns. And by WinStar World Casino and Resort, over 10,000 ways to play. The voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way.
Tough wait for the road portion of the regular season end tonight for the Texas Longhorns, who held an 8-point halftime lead on number 11 Baylor in Waco. In fact, led by 12 in the second half. And the Longhorns had a big scoring drought. Baylor cashed in a lot of fouls. The Longhorns also lost Dylan DeSuto to a knee injury in the second half. It all added up to Baylor scoring 53 second-half points. And while the Longhorns scored 85 tonight, it wasn't enough. They come up 8 points short. We welcome you back here to Waco for tonight's Bud Light postgame show. Baylor wins this one 93-85. And Baylor, despite giving up 15 points off of turnovers, big difference for the Bears came clearly in rebounding, where they turned it around in the rebounding department in the second half. And at one point out, rebounded Longhorns 14-2 and turned it around. And the Longhorns, in fact, had a long scoring drought and in fact, went over 9 minutes without a field goal. 93-85, the final. We'll check the final stats from this one. Check in with Dave Pulaski in our Longhorn Network studios from Learfield. Also, we'll visit with Longhorns head coach Rodney Terry. All that and more coming up on the Bud Light postgame show when Longhorn basketball continues in a moment.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace.
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
you can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
No matter which road you take, the Toyota Tundra is the perfect way to navigate it. You may find yourself in some pretty remote places.
That view is amazing.
Or in places where pastimes become stories that become legends.
I got one. It's a keeper.
And each day ends watching a star-filled sky.
Whoa.
Built to follow your path, the Toyota Tundra. Another Texas-born beast. Toyota is a proud corporate sponsor of Texas athletics. Toyota, let's go places. See packages and options at toyota.com for feature availability.
With so many distractions in life, are you finding it hard to focus on the present, constantly looking down instead of looking up, feverishly trying to capture the moment instead of taking it in? Feel Free Tonic by Botanic Tonics can help. The calm, relaxing effects of kava root, coupled with naturally caffeinated cola nut, lion's mane mushroom, and rhodiola, make for the perfect balance boost to help keep you in the now. Discover the magic of kava with Feel Free Tonic. Texas fans can save $40 on their first order with code BEVO40. That's code BEVO40 at botanictonics.com.
At St. David's Healthcare, we talk a lot about being the best. It's not just talk. We show it through innovation, hard work, heart, and of course, victories. St. David's Healthcare is proud to be an official healthcare provider of Texas athletics. And as UT Athletic Director Chris Del Conte would say,
The best is here, and together we are changing the world. Hook 'em.
Spins with a drop step, went reverse side and scored. What a pretty move.
Want to get in on the action at Moody Center? Texas Farm Bureau Insurance is proud to offer its members 2 free tickets to select Longhorns men's or women's basketball home games this season. Visit texassports.com/Texas Farm Bureau for complete details on how members can request tickets. That's texassports.com/Texas Farm Bureau for your free tickets to see the Horns on their home court. Brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance.
Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield. A look at the final numbers, and the Longhorns wound up shooting level 50% from the floor. Baylor shooting 53% from the floor. And but the biggest difference, the three-point shooting, the Bears in three-point shooting wound up hitting 9 of 13. The Longhorns were 9 of 23. Also, the biggest difference on the free throw line, Baylor 34-42, the Longhorns 16 for 21. The rebounding edge to the Bears 36-21. Turnovers, only 5 for Texas, 13 for Baylor, and the Longhorns had a 22-7 edge in the points off the turnovers. But again, the rebounding and the free throw shooting, a big, big difference. We'll check the final individual numbers in a bit. Up next, Dave Pulaski in our Longhorn Radio Network studios with a look around college basketball when we continue here on the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, or you can't drive high. You can run, or you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
This message is for Karina, our mom who finished her high school diploma at age 28. Hi Mom, it's Amethyst and Nicholas. Congratulations on getting your diploma. You worked so hard and have taught us so much. We love you.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to the Bud Light Postgame Show. A hot start for Texas, but a slow finish leads to a 93-85 victory for number 11 Baylor over the Longhorns. Dave Pulaski back inside the Learfield Network studios. Time now to give you your WinStar World Resort Studio report and your Big 12 update. Of course, this was the only Big 12 game taking place on this big Monday, but as we look ahead to the final week of the regular season, lots of major implications going on for the Big 12 tournament coming up in Kansas City. Coming up tomorrow, we'll have 3 games on tap in the Big 12. Texas Tech will be on the road at Oklahoma State. The Red Raiders coming off an 81-70 victory at West Virginia on Saturday to snap a 2-game mini skid. They beat Oklahoma State 90-73 in Lubbock on January 9th, seeking a series sweep for the first time since 2019. They have historically struggled in Stillwater. Oklahoma State has won 4 straight meetings against Texas Tech at Gallagher-Iba Arena, and they are 27-5 all-time at home against the Red Raiders. Oklahoma State coming off an 81-65 loss at Texas on Saturday. Cowboys have dropped 3 in a row and 5 of their last 7. Also coming up on Tuesday in Big 12 play, Cincinnati traveling to Norman to take on Oklahoma. For a 7 o'clock tip-off, the Bearcats with a 74-72 win against Kansas State on Saturday. Simas Lukosius with a go-ahead 3 with just under 10 seconds left to help give them the win over the Wildcats. Now trying to split the season series against Oklahoma. They lost at home on January 20th to the Sooners, going up against a Sooner squad that has been struggling as of late. They very nearly knocked off the number 1 team in the nation, falling to number 1 Houston 87-85 on Saturday on a Jamal Shed putback with 0.4 seconds left. Sooners have dropped 2 in a row and 4 of their last 5. They're currently a number 8 seed for the NCAA tournament, according to ESPN's bracketology. Had the 69-65 win at Cincinnati on January 20th. It was their first win against the Bearcats since 1991. They have lost their last 4 meetings in non-conference action prior to Cincy joining the Big 12 this season. The Sunflower Showdown also takes place on Tuesday night at Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas State and number 14 Kansas. KU coming off the 82-74 loss at 15th ranked Baylor on Saturday. They've dropped 2 in a row, just 3-4 in their last 7 games, and they are at 9-7 in conference play, part of a 3-way tie with both Texas Tech and BYU for the Jayhawks. Their most conference losses since 1988-89 when they were part of the Big 8. They went 6-8. That was Roy Williams' first year as the Jayhawks head coach. They were also dealing with probation after the disappearance of Larry Brown as he went to the NBA after leading the Jayhawks to the national championship behind Danny Manning and company in 1988. The next year, Roy Williams was the head coach, led them to a 6-8 record, and now trying to bounce back. They'll be doing so on senior night, which they've had historically some great success. They've won 39 straight senior night games going back to 1983-84. They're 14-1 at home this season and facing a K-State team that did knock them off in Manhattan at Bramlage Coliseum in overtime earlier this season, but they haven't won in Lawrence since 2006, having lost 16 in a row at Allen Fieldhouse. Looking ahead to Wednesday, number 1 Houston travels to UCF to take on a Knights team that has 3 wins against ranked opponents this season, but Houston, of course, beat UCF 57-42 at home on January 20th. They've won 8 straight meetings going back to their American Athletic Conference days before both joined the Big 12 this year. TCU and West Virginia will go at it on Wednesday night. The Horned Frogs with an 87-75 loss at BYU on Saturday. They dropped 3 of the last 4 games. Still comfortably in the tournament, according to ESPN's bracketology, as a number 9 seed. They beat West Virginia 81-65 in Fort Worth on February 12th. Meanwhile, WVU, they've really struggled this season. They're 9-20 on the year, and they have their first 20-loss season since the 2018-2019 campaign, and just their second in program history. And rounding out the upcoming Big 12 schedule for this week, at least during the midweek, number 6 Iowa State facing off against number 20 BYU. BYU back into the rankings after 1 week out. They were ranked for 13 consecutive weeks, but that win at Kansas, coupled by the victory over TCU, has vaulted them back into the top 20, going up against Iowa State, who has won 3 in a row and 7 of 8. The only loss coming against then number 2 Houston, and they are 17-0 this season at home, trying to get up some more Hilton magic against BYU as we move into the final weekend of the regular season. And currently, Texas still battling for one of those spots in the middle of the pack and at least a ride into the second round of the Big 12 tournament. A win against Oklahoma on Saturday would do just that. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll go through the top 25 scoreboard, and we'll scan around Texas athletics. We'll also hear from head coach Rodney Terry as we continue the Bud Light postgame show right here as Texas basketball continues in a moment.
At St. David's Healthcare, we talk a lot about being the best. It's not just talk. We show it through innovation, hard work, heart, and of course, victories. St. David's Healthcare is proud to be an official healthcare provider of Texas athletics. And as UT Athletic Director Chris Del Conte would say,
The best is here, and together we are changing the world. Hook 'em.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Order Bud Light online today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Longhorns fans, customize your car wash experience today with the new Zips Car Wash mobile app. Download the app today and start earning points with every in-app purchase. And get access to app-exclusive offers that save you money. Zips Unlimited members can even earn points for monthly membership purchases. Plus, when you download the app today, your first car wash is on us. Available for iOS and Android. Zips has 36 locations across Texas to serve you. Zips Car Wash, proud sponsor of Texas Athletics.
Fly to Philly, take off to Tampa, depart for Denver. Following your team on the road is more rewarding with the American Airlines Advantage program. Your flights and everyday spend not only earn you miles toward your next trip, but also loyalty points toward Advantage status. All the more reason to purchase both a home and away jersey. With status comes great benefits like priority boarding, free check bags, and complimentary upgrades. Not a member? Enroll for free today at AA.com. American Airlines, you are why we fly. Terms and conditions apply.
Back on the Bud Light postgame show, Texas falls at number 11 Baylor, 93-85. Dave Pulaski back inside the Learfield Network studios. Time for another look at your WinStar World Resort Studio Report. One other game going on in the top 25 tonight on this big Monday. Number 9 Duke on the road at NC State, and the Blue Devils get the job done against the Wolfpack, 79-64 in the 255th all-time meeting between Duke and NC State. Duke now leads that series 152-103 as Jeremy Roach goes for 21 points in the victory for the Blue Devils, who are now within a half game of North Carolina at the top of the ACC standings. Blue Devils will host the Tar Heels at Cameron Indoor Stadium in the regular season finale on Saturday. Meanwhile, going around Texas women's basketball, they'll have a little bit of a break heading to Kansas City for the upcoming Big 12 tournament this weekend. They'll be into the quarterfinals as part of the double bye after securing the number 2 seed with a victory over BYU on senior night Saturday at Moody Center. They'll take on the winner of 7 seed Kansas and the 10 seed BYU on Saturday in the quarterfinals at T-Mobile Center at 5:30 p.m. Texas softball in action this week as well. They're going up against Penn State tonight, and then they will extend that winning streak to 7 in a row as they end up topping the Nittany Lions, and they will now host Texas Arlington on Wednesday at 6 o'clock at McCombs Field. And then Texas baseball will be back in action at UFCO Disch-Falk Field against 7th-ranked Texas A&M, the undefeated Aggies, coming into Austin for a 6:30 matchup tomorrow. Limited tickets still available at texassports.com. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll hear from head coach Rodney Terry as we continue the Bud Light postgame show. Texas falls 93-85 at 11th-ranked Baylor. As you're listening to the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot fast and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Into the building for the first time after the shooting. It was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Palma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Back on the Bud Light postgame show inside the Texas locker room, visiting the Longhorns head coach Rodney Terry. Basketball team played so well for so much of the game, and I know some things, the proliferation of fouls called and Dillon getting banged up and things like that. How much your overview of the game and how well your team played for so long, and then the things that turned it down the stretch?
Yeah, I thought we had really good effort. I thought we had really good execution. Really got every shot we wanted in the first half. I thought even in the start of the second half, we started the second half the right way. 42 free throws, that's a lot of free throws, man. I can't go at the free throw line, We have to do a better job, in terms of playing without fouling, and then we got to make them make calls when we get fouled and we don't get the whistle. We got to get that, on the road, especially in tough environments, in order to continue to work the game and be in the game.
No question about that. Is it also a situation too where Baylor, probably better than a lot of schools, does a good job of at least selling the call to where they're going to get some foul calls that maybe some other teams might not be able to get.
Are you talking about fake fouls? Yeah, yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, they do it all the time on tape. So, at the end of the day, you just got to keep working. We're not going to make any excuses. You got to play through that. Sometimes it's going to be the adversity that you got to play through. A whistle you got to play through. Turnover. You got to just continue to keep playing and keep working the game and try to stay stone-faced. Does it affect you? Yes, it does. Anybody, human nature. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you just got to still go try to take it some kind of way.
Your guys really had to fight hard without Ellen first being limited because of the stomach, and then with the banged up knee in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, I give Dylan a lot of credit for trying to play. There was, game time decision. And, really thought he wasn't even going to play, but even with that, we have a next man mentality, next guy to stand up. Guys want opportunities, you have an opportunity. And I thought Caden came in and tried to give us what he could give us, and we just have to have other guys step up, not from a scoring standpoint, but just from a defensive standpoint. They got to give us what they're supposed to give us in terms of the roles.
Rodney, being a Monday and not playing till Saturday, what will your schedule be going forward?
Well, we got to take a day off tomorrow. I mean, we've been playing and we've been getting after here without any time off since Saturday. So we've got to take a day off tomorrow and recharge a little bit, get some good recovery, and then get back to work trying to figure out how we can beat a good Oklahoma team at home.
Okay, appreciate the time, RT. Thanks.
Thanks, Greg.
All right, Longhorns head coach Rodney Terry. Eddie and I will be back to wrap it up after these local messages on the Longhorn Radio Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the Lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that my kids wouldn't have a father. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Here courtside as Texas falls to Baylor 93-85. We gave you the team numbers earlier, the individual numbers. For Baylor, Jalen Bridges led him 32 points. He was 6 of 7 from three-point range and 10 of 13 from the foul line, 8 of 11 from the field. Overall, 32 points and 9 rebounds. 16 points from Ray J. Dennis, 15 from Jacoby Walter, 13 of those in the second half, and a lot of them from the free throw line. 10 points for Josh Ojonwuna, 8 points from Jay Nunn, 7 from Eve Misi. And then 3 points from Miro Little and 2 from Caleb Lohner. Longhorns led by Max Asmus' Longhorn career high of 33 points. Max 13 of 21 from the floor, 4 of 10 from three-point range. 14 points from Caden Shedrick off the bench. On for the injured Dylan DeSue, who was only able to play 10 minutes in the game and got hurt in the second half. Like we said, it was a sprained knee, and that's all they're saying for the. It didn't look like a severely sprained knee. He was able to come back out later and join the team and didn't have a brace on or anything like that. But we'll see what it's like with the status for Saturday's game on Senior Day against Oklahoma. 14 points for Shedrick, 12 for Tyrese Hunter, 8 points, 9 rebounds for I.T. Horton, 5 points each from Dylan Mitchell and Kendall Weaver, and 3 points from Brock Cunningham. So the Longhorns with a loss drop now to a total of 19-11. They're 8-9 in Big 12 Conference play. Doing a little bit of rudimentary math on this. It's still too early to tell exactly where they're going to finish in the Big 12 Conference standings. The most likely spot would be 6, 7, or 8. They could finish as high as 6, depending on what Texas Tech has happen to them. They play tomorrow night in Stillwater. If they win that game, the highest Longhorns could finish would be 7th. If they lose that game and then lose at home to Baylor on Saturday and the Longhorns beat Oklahoma, Texas could finish as high as 6th. Also depends on what happens with TCU. And then BYU and Kansas would appear to now be finishing ahead of Texas because they hold the head-to-head tiebreaker. Bottom line on all this, Eddie, is that the Longhorns could use one more win to finish 500 in conference play, to have an up note going into the Big 12 tournament, to beat another good Quad 1 basketball team. They had a chance to get a gigantic Quad 1 road win over a ranked team. That didn't happen tonight, so now they got to find a way to see if they can win it on Senior Day on Saturday.
Well, I think right now Texas is probably playing as good a ball as they played. You know, the second half, the shots they were making the first half, they were getting the same shots, just would not make them. But I think Texas right now feels good about themselves. They've been having good practices, and I look for them to finish strong this week with Oklahoma and be ready to go in the Big 12.
All right, our final edition of Longhorn Weekly with Rodney Terry is coming up on Thursday night from Pluckers, the West Campus location in Austin at 2222 Rio Grande. It is our hope. I'm just going to stress it to you that way. It's our hope that we'll have Dylan DeSue with us, depending on the knee condition. He's scheduled to be with us, and we'll hope that he can join us. But in any event, Coach Terry will be with us, and we will have the show regardless on Thursday night, 6 o'clock from Pluckers, the West Campus location. I hope you'll come out for the final show. And then, of course, we'll have it for you on the air over at many of these same Longhorn Radio Network stations, 6 o'clock on Thursday night. And then the final game of the regular season, Saturday afternoon at 1, will be on the air 12:30 from Moody Center, the Texas Longhorns against the Oklahoma Sooners. Thanks to our broadcast crew. Our engineer is Cameron Parker. Thanks as well to our friend Dave Pulaski helping us out tonight as our broadcast coordinator and studio anchor in the Longhorn Radio Network studios from Learfield. Now for Eddie Orrin, this is Craig Way. Once again, the final score, the Baylor Bears 93, the Texas Longhorns 85. Until next time, good night from Waco.
Longhorn basketball has been brought to you by Rico, an official corporate sponsor of Texas Athletics. By Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by Texas Farm Bureau Insurance. Members can request free tickets at texassports.com/Texas Farm Bureau. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Longhorn Radio Network.
Into the front court off the Baylor turnover. Max Asmus has it left side. Driving to the hoop. Launches high off the glass and rattles it in.